Oh, yeah.
Which is cute. Which is cute.
You know, my dad runs out of minutes on his phone, but he still texts me. Your dad can use 2 spell slots, all right?
On that note, so we are recording, so we'll just jump straight into it. So as day breaks, the last day of the ball, the day the vote gets announced.
I love bowls.
You guys awake after, some of you, a less restful night. Some of you just more peaceful meditations. You guys wake up knowing that you have a meeting with Lias Hardon. I guess the vote is in 2 hours, so you guys have 2 hours for your meeting, and then or you don't have to, but the vote will be announced in 2 hours. So as you guys are kind of waking up and readying yourself, there is a knock at the door.
Sorry.
Immediately, PTSD.
I'm sorry, clarification.
Don't look at me.
The vote is in 2 hours. What time is it now?
It is 8 o'clock
Okay.
in the morning. The vote is announced at 10 a.m., and most of the delegates will be gone by noon. That is what you have been told by Keishari and the Count.
So I think potentially scouring catacombs will be waiting until afternoon.
Let's get the person at the door.
Another knock at the door.
Oh, damn.
I'm not opening any goddamn doors.
I will.
She's like, I'm done. This is fine.
There's still blood on the floor.
Who is it?
Kirk will rise and I will open the door.
You open the door and you see a blue individual in noble clothing with white hair and a silver circlet around their hair. You see your father, Torm, and he is holding a parcel wrapped in twine, and he's holding it, and he goes, this isn't mine. I came for a completely unrelated purpose, but this was on your doorstep.
Oh, well,
that
you
sounds
better
like a
come.
bomb.
You better come.
Immediately, that's suspicious.
That's a bomb.
Detect anthrax.
You say that. Ask him to be like, you can hold the finger, take it, and put it on the table, and ritual cast detect. Ritual cast detect magic before opening any strings or anything like that.
Okay, so 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Aska starts getting
Time
out the
set for
magnifying glasses and tools and starts ritual casting.
The Geiger counter.
As she is doing that, Torm finds you and goes, I just wanted to check in. I have Ferendil getting ready in the courtyard down below. I'm headed back to the forest.
Yeah, as soon as she sees her father, and he gives a suspected bomb to Aska, she'll be like, "Father!" Scream, "Father!" and run to him. Just give him a big embrace.
Did the father murder yesterday get to you? Feeling sentimental?
Well, I mean,
must be nice to have a father to hug, huh?
She just glares from across the room.
You have a body to hug still.
he's kind of a pile of ash, isn't he?
No, he's a body wrapped in carpet.
He just doesn't have a head.
Oh, the head's ash.
The head's ash.
That sucks.
Like a small tear because of the events yesterday, and she's before he speaks about
Ferendil, which you know was the other, not Bixby.
Okay,
Not Bixby. You better not take my son.
He has not mentioned Bixby, just Ferendil.
She's gonna
child.
ask, did you go to the ball yesterday? Did you put in a vote? Or?
I did put in a vote. I was there briefly. I actually got caught up with a couple of hustlers in the gambling room, which so don't ask me to buy you anything. And don't tell your mother. But I lost everything that I came with, other than the crown. So.
Do you need gold?
No, I'm going straight home.
Do you need money? Zach, do you need money?
Oh my god. It's okay. We have so much back at home. It's not a problem.
Oh, that's right. We're rich.
I am literally a king.
I hate this already.
But I just wanted to let you know, and I feel like I don't need to say this, but stay safe. After the other night, I think it's best to return out of a into a less active political sphere. But I know you and your friends might be putting down, even temporarily, putting down roots. So just be careful.
Of course.
Is
Do you
there
still
anything that you
intend
need
to
from me?
reclaim Bangkok Keep?
It's a bit up in the air. Thankfully, I did not gamble with the deed yesterday. But I am kind of waiting to see how this whole Count King thing shakes out, because it may not be appropriate in the coming weeks. But that is a conversation I will have with Mr. Holland if it comes to it. Anything you need of me before I go?
No, I don't believe so. About Bixby, I feel like...
Bixby.
No.
I knew I was forgetting something.
No, she.
No, yeah, she... Jesus, what's your name again? Sorry.
Naomi.
Naomi, thank you.
I feel like Naomi and Azura have had like no conversations.
No, I'm just like
Adopted
staring
her
daggers as soon as he says something about Bixby,
yeah.
and I'm like,
Naomi's grown very attached to Bixby, and I believe that would be a relationship we don't want to tear.
Oh, that's totally fine. Honestly, since it's just the one, I can't really fly them both back, and between us, Bixby's a little... You know.
Fair.
I won't argue with that.
Take good care of him.
Valid.
I think some of the owl trainers back home may, thank you, send you a gift basket or something.
Oh yeah.
And he gives you another hug.
Yeah.
And he just goes, if you need anything,
Thanks for buying
it's
the
just a
dog.
short flight. I can be right back in a day or so.
Of course.
Gives you another big hug, wipes a bit of a tear away from his eye, and leaves.
Bye, Mr. Torn.
Bye, all.
Your
bye,
Highness.
all. Yes.
If I may ask, it may be imprudent. How did you vote? I was not letting him walk out the fucking door without it.
Yeah, he stops. He thinks about it for a second, and he trusts you guys. So he goes. My heart told me that Mr. Holland would do best for this realm, and so I wanted to put yes. But being neighbors with Nefasto on its own has been slightly problematic for the Frozen Forest. Having a kingdom on our doorstep, well, I couldn't say yes to that. So I voted no.
To be honest, either answer would have been acceptable. It's not. It's
Well, there are
something.
only two choices.
Well, it was lovely having you here in, well, my home, and please feel free to make yourself available at any time you care to visit.
And as of you, if you all want to take a summer vacation down to the Frozen Forest,
I glance at Aska.
It's better. It's not great this time of year, but in the summer months, it's quite nice.
Mm-hmm. We have hot springs for you, Aska. You would love them.
I'm not saying no. I would have to make some preparations. Is all. That sounds very cold.
I'm sure we can have some mittens. Mittens knitted. Mittens mitted. I believe I need some coffee this morning.
Indeed. Well, I'll leave you to your upcoming day, and may Saloon be with you. And he leaves out the door.
I think at some point after he leaves and she's still doing anything, I want to walk up to you and go, hey, I got to talk to you.
What is it?
Preparing my spells.
Naomi's looking for opportunity to pull her aside at some point. Also.
I think she's just sitting in the corner holding the dragon, but she doesn't want to play with
where
it.
it wouldn't be noticed by the other party members.
Whenever you want to pull her aside, she's basically just sitting in the corner with this dragon.
What did I next?
So I, last night, was watching over the ballot boxes to make sure anyone wasn't going to do anything with it. The melted-looking fellow that's always around your friend, I put friend very loosely, was the last one to put a vote in the box.
That you saw?
That I saw.
Interesting.
And I stayed up late. Thank you for teaching me that, by the way. That was actually very helpful.
What?
Find familiar. My familiar looked.
Oh.
So thank you.
You're welcome. It's useful.
But I just wanted to let you know that since
That's
what
interesting.
happened last night.
I suppose he would be given the same level as any other member of Cirrus's. I wonder how they voted.
But I also don't know if that was something like because I know Damon decided to potentially kill last night. So
Yes,
I didn't know if that was something that I just wanted to tell you.
I appreciate that. Speaking of last night, I'd love to go 12 hours without being blown up. Asuka, and I'm just gonna go over and try and help her with whatever that package is.
As you
I'm just
do
gonna-
that, you pull Blair aside.
Okay, I'm gonna pull Blair aside and be like, okay, I know you kind of got a lot going on right now, but we have another issue, and I'm going to just like pull out my notebook and open it and be like, I've been really trying to avoid doing this, and I've been really getting in trouble for it.
So when you first pull her over, she kind of has that, like, dead behind the eyes look of, like, any college student if you approach them in a library of, like, hey, I know you're going through a lot. Can I talk to you for a second? Yeah. And then you pull out a notebook, and then she starts recognizing names, and she, like, is trying to care for a minute.
You're also the only person who I've explained how the notebook works.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, like, wait, what?
And then, like, your uncle's name is at the bottom of the list.
Right below a crossed out Iola's Haradon.
Yeah. And I'm like, I've had a few opportunities, and I've chosen not to because he seems to be supporting you. And also, I understand that if I were to just do this, you guys would probably kill me. But there's a real threat that I could be dragged back to hell if I don't do this. And I need help.
You see her start the
audible?
slow scratching.
They're purposely
That-
away from the group.
Okay.
If you care to pay attention, Blair has gone from confused to somehow more confused to, like, concerned. Not alarmed, just, like, still that haze of, I'm struggling to keep up with what's going on here. She starts slowly itching again, as we remember. Okay.
I don't know who else to tell.
Okay. So.
Next of kin.
So.
She's the most closely related to the problem, so I figure she might be the only one to make ideas.
I definitely. Just like a migraine coming on. I appreciate this. I do. I don't know how to help you. I think this might involve the rest of the group. I have my plate a little full, and I don't know where wanting to murder my uncle, who is supporting me so you don't go back to hell, falls on my scale of things that I should make decisions on.
I felt like I should tell you first if I told anyone.
I do appreciate that.
No, I don't know what the fuck to do about this. I'm fucking terrified.
You know Blair from, like, watching her, because you take notes on all of us, to be very, like, caring and compassionate. She's so dumbfounded with this new information of, like, hi, you know I kill people. I need to kill your uncle or I'm going to hell, help. That she's like, I feel like I should comfort you. But I'm honestly a little mixed on, if you don't kill my uncle, you have to go to hell. So, she kind of, like, pats your arm, and then she kind of wakes up out of this, like, haze of, I don't know what's happening. I do appreciate this. I really do appreciate being told what's going on. I feel like a lot of things are just kind of happening, so knowing ahead of time is very nice. I think we should talk to the rest of the group about this.
I also if I just disappear one day, I'd like you to know what happened.
His face contorts with this look of horror, thinking about everyone being asleep and you just disappearing to hell.
No, what's
Sink into the floor.
or it's either that or it's gonna be like Sam Raimi's Dragging Me to Hell,
Yeah,
where it just
yeah,
opens
yeah.
up and it's just like the claws and shit.
Have you ever seen Naomi's
Yeah, we
face
should
on a milk
talk to
carton?
people about this. And she just kind of takes your hand and leads you to sit at the sofa, politely waiting our turn,
As you
because
guys-
Blair doesn't want to interrupt.
As you guys
Oh my
pull
God.
over
looks
to the
shell-shocked.
sofa, you guys are all kind of
No,
huddled
me
around. You guys are all kind of huddled around Asuka, who's like still working on this box. And Asuka, you you notice that the box, the wrapping, the twine, and the box itself doesn't appear to be magical at all. But there is a magical presence within the box.
God.
Okay.
And
It's a
Puts on her helmet.
you would know that it is an evocation, a type of magic in the box. Little round energy that you're sensing within the box.
And it wasn't addressed to anybody?
On the box it says to the Misfit Six.
Oh, okay.
From?
I can.
No, that's suspicious.
I think
Blair's
I pipe
moved off the couch to the other side of the room, and
gonna
she's
get
watching respectfully
blown
from a
up.
good
No,
distance.
we're still. You're still like
I
guiding
dragged
me
you
to,
with me,
like, I'm
yes.
just like,
I think
oh.
at that point I'll pipe up and go.
Well, wait here.
If we need to, I can open it from a distance.
Same. I have magic
Yeah,
hand.
I haven't said any
I
of
have
that
unseen
yet.
servant.
Okay.
We have lots of unseen.
But I'm just saying, I'll throw it out there
There's
just
someone.
in case we're concerned.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
He
it is-
might be
I
more
mean,
adept. 2 hands.
God, evocation could be so many different.
Sometimes it's just a one-hand job.
So should we
There
just
is
open?
a chance that something could
Package.
explode or otherwise harm us if we open this. I suggest. All right.
It's just. It's gonna be like a fruit
I'm just
basket
gonna open
appears
it.
or something.
I'm just opening it.
You open it.
Yeah, I open it.
I got my shield up.
You
I
rip the
running away.
I am.
I'm prepared to cast shield.
It's like this is taking too
It's
long.
statistically improbable that I would be exploded within 12 hours of each other.
I'm holding you behind me, and I'm prepared to cast shield.
As you open it, make a
You have
con
not
save.
been with
No,
us
I'm
all
kidding.
day.
I'm kidding.
It's anthrax.
So, as you open up the
resistant
box,
poison.
as you open up the box, it's kind of plain.
Acid.
You do see a card, like a folded card, sitting on top, and it also is addressed to the Misfit Six. You open it up, and you read, "Hello, ... Is anybody out there? ? And you look down in the box, and you see a little stone, about the size of your hand.
Is this the beam?
Portable beam.
No, it's a sending stone.
Oh, I see.
Would I know what this is?
It looks like a sending stone.
Hello?
Hello. Oh, I know this voice. It's Wade.
Fuck it.
I'm
sorry,
Much
who?
Stress over a
Oh my god!
I believe this is the correct. I'm sorry. This may be a wrong address. But,
No, the address was correct.
I believe we had drinks once.
This is Wade, the fluffy-haired gentleman with.
Can you hear this?
I'm sitting next to you.
Yeah,
No,
but
but
can you-
it's only in cursive.
Yeah.
Whoever's
Oh,
holding the
fuck.
stone.
No, that's fun.
Fuck me.
The big fluffy yellow hair.
Oh, your dad does sky ships.
Oh yes, Skyship.
Yeah.
That's us.
Everyone, it's a sending stone from Wade.
Oh
They say hello.
Visible
shit!
relief.
No idea who that is.
Give them my love, and
I explained to you.
Actually, this is
I met him
a bit
once
of
in passing.
a parting
So did
gift. I had to skedaddle. Dad said that there's a bunch of new developments up at the north, and we had to set out last night. But I wanted to, since last time I left, I had no way to communicate with you guys, and reconnecting kind of feels like fate. So I wanted to give you a way to call me, I guess. Keep in touch.
How very
Implemented.
sentimental, yes, of you. I will definitely pass this along to a more appropriate holder. I have a question. Did you have a chance, or you or your father, a chance
you
to...
serious?
I have to ask everyone. I am involved. Did you or your father have a chance to take part in the democratic vote that transpired last night before you left?
We were actually leaving when they were starting to vote, so we actually had to hand our votes directly to the Count himself.
Oh my.
We actually had a nice brunch before setting out. But yes, don't worry, we got to. Our voices were heard.
And those voices were resounding...
A resounding yes, we need allies. we are getting destroyed at the north. We need help against the Kazurth Empire.
That's, good to know. Thank you. Yes. Is there anyone in particular you would like them to hold on to this for you?
I wish that me and you had more time to connect, but really, any of them, I love them all. Is Ardosh there?
Ardosh was the Golden Dragonborn, correct?
Yes, and he went off with my dad.
Okay, no, Ardosh is not here.
Oh, that's
he
a
is
shame.
off with Delilah's father, another Golden Dragonborn.
Why don't you just pass me to Garrick then?
Man, you're shitting on all of us.
He is.
Garrick was
no,
the
just
orc.
that side of the table. Just use it.
Yes.
Yes.
A half orc, who cares? Orcs.
Big difference.
And yeah, green.
He was a nice man.
I'm sure he was.
One of the
Any-
nicest ones I met. Although,
Unfortunately, Garrick also... You know what? I'm just going to hold on to this. It may be useful.
Is Delilah still there?
Yes, Delilah is... Would you like to be in touch with Delilah?
Anyone who wants to get in touch with me, yes, but
Okay.
sure, let me talk to Delilah.
Sure. Here, I'm handing the wall.
Standing by.
Delilah,
Yes.
here you go. Right hand.
rock.
Hi, Wade.
Delilah!
How are you?
I am well.
Right
A little
there.
airsick, but doing fine. Funny enough, not that fond of flying, but it's a hell of a view. So there's that.
Well, thank you for the gift. We were just a little on edge, but
Yes, the dragon attack and then the dragons visiting. All that seemed like a lot.
oh, there's a lot more. But I won't get into details. But again, that's very, very thoughtful of you. Thank you so much.
Well, absolutely. And like I said, call me anytime. I keep it on me. Mine's actually on a you cannot see it, obviously, but it's on a cute little necklace around my neck. So I will have it on me if you ever need to chat. I don't have many friends, and so you guys, I consider you guys my
How does
friends.
Wade not have many friends?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I feel
literally.
like he would be laying some
Lot of-
serious pipe.
A lot of business.
Acquaintances.
He moves around a lot.
A lot of hair.
Exactly, laying a lot of pipe, not making many friends.
Everyone wants to befriend the bartender until they're done drinking.
And then he turns into Tom Waits.
A little bit.
But well, we greatly appreciate it. You're the first person to really let us all in this group of ragamuffins. But again, thank you so much, and I will tell everyone there that you send them love, and we'll try to be in contact. I think we're gonna handle some stuff here, and we may be on the move again as well.
Excellent. And
It's actually my tough rather nice, thank you.
he signs off for now, but you guys now have a sending stone to Wade Overhelm.
I like you talking to him like he's that relative that you haven't talked to in a while, but you're kind of busy, so you need to get off the phone.
Don't we have another sending stone? Don't you have one?
Yeah, to the other people. Well, I think
To
I left
your
it with-
mom.
No.
No, you did a sending stone.
I did sending to mom. We had
got
a
a
sending stone to the
sending
people
stone
in the
In another city.
to the other city for the
You have a sending stone to Pleiades, which, okay, I don't remember the guy's last name, but his first name is Archibald.
yeah.
Who the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Church shit.
The guy that he stole Archibald Moonman.
Yeah, I
essentially
used it.
plagiarized his name.
I did
but
steal
the
it.
leader of the other end of the Order of Celestion.
I did.
There's
Yeah,
Arkenhaven and
and
then
Mount-
Pleiades.
The Grand
Remember
Maester.
this at all?
It was technically Blair wasn't there. So
Cool.
It was,
Yeah,
it
Good.
was, it was in the
Okay.
Arkenhaven.
I'm sitting here going, when the fuck did we meet an Archibald?
I think that was around the time you guys were destroying a library.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah. Yeah, roughly then.
That checks out.
So I will hold on to it, and I'll
Okay.
put it in my bag.
Are you guys doing anything else in
Thank
the
you,
tower,
nothing.
or are you?
I think we
Heading
were
over
on
your meeting.
standby to inform
yeah,
them of our other problem.
Oh, right.
So after I'm done explaining Wade to you, you're probably looking at me expectantly to introduce your issue, and I'm like, right.
Well, I was like, can we get a quick recap? How much do they actually know? Because I know I was interrogated at one point.
They know you're from Hell, and that you are tied to a devil lady there and I think
That's about it.
So I should probably.
I believe we have her name.
Yeah, I think you do have the name Arabelle.
Yes.
Arabelle.
We
Yeah,
did.
so I know that he knows more than the rest
I'm
of them
assuming you
because I
gave me-
noticed his little mind probe and that annoyed me. But
I'm assuming you gave me some context while we were talking,
Yeah.
but I'm assuming I also don't know.
But I feel like I
everything.
should probably start out with a quick little synopsis of telling everyone how the notebook
Oh,
works.
yeah.
So I'm gonna do that first, and then we can get into the actual issue. And I'm gonna put the notebook on the table.
It's good to have like a PowerPoint for these things.
Yeah.
This is how my character works.
The notebook's on the table. What do you divulge?
So I've explained how the notebook works. Like, I don't pick the names show up. I'm obligated to go after these people, or I risk getting dragged back to hell. I have no significant proof that this woman can do that. She is not. But every time I don't listen or have an opportunity and choose not to take it, I am actually physically threatened, or threatened in my mind, and she shows up.
Is that when like you look off in some places? Does she show up when you look off in some places?
Sometimes she shows up in reflective surfaces.
Oh, that's alarming.
I forgot she saw that.
Has she ever like physically hurt you?
Where did the
done
demon lady
any-
touch you?
Except last night.
Well, not since
What a
I
question.
left.
Yeah.
Not since I left.
Okay.
That's really good.
Does it matter if you're not? It doesn't matter because Elias is dead, and you didn't do that, right? You did that. You were there. You were
I was
part of that.
part
Part
of
of
it.
it.
But you don't have to do this, right? If they just die
If
in
they
like
die,
a
they're
horrible
all for this.
accident,
Like, it's just like,
So Naomi would know that you do not have to be the one to kill them, but you do have to collect their soul.
Which she did.
well, that's. Could
oh
be
yeah, I
difficult
guess I have to
if they
explain the
were in a
thurible
carriage
too.
accident.
Finally, now that everybody's been confused about that the thurible is actually to collect and hold souls.
That's very scary.
Essentially like the Monsters Inc.
The
scream
thurible
jar.
that has like the horrible like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
Blair
no,
has
that-
more
that
of a.
tracks.
I definitely have a don't kill my uncle stance now.
Oh, now that you know I'm sending his soul to hell.
I feel like that's a degree worse. Like there's a level of.
only is
I don't know. Ask Aska's dad.
All right.
Not only is he going to die, he's going to suffer the entire time and then continue suffering.
Oh,
Do you say it?
That was done.
I don't know.
that was uncalled for.
That is unnecessary.
50-50.
Noted.
No, that was above table. I'm
What,
sorry.
Chris?
As I think the only other person at the table with experience making deals with devils to collect souls for them.
If I had a nickel.
Do you have any idea why she wants the souls?
Absolutely not. I don't think so. No.
Who is the list of people again?
Sorry. Hold on. I got my
Yes,
whole notebook.
I'm very curious as to why these
Okay.
individuals.
Do you want it from the beginning? Because I think some of these names are just nonsense, right? There's a few recognizable, but
I would say
There's-
from the top.
I would like to know.
okay. There's somebody named
Yes.
Brock Novak the Unkillable.
You guys know that is where she got the tentacle whip from.
Yeah.
It was a
Okay.
brothel.
Okay.
All that he's unkillable.
Alex
he's definitely killable.
Tarsus.
You know the name Tarsus as being the Corinthial family name.
Yes.
These are all people I've
So
killed, by the
who
way.
the fuck is Alex?
Like, I've already murdered these ones.
You don't need to say the quiet part out loud.
Alex,
they're crossed
you're
out. We
not
get that.
sure. Not
No,
one
but
of
I
the heirs
directly
and not
killed
the parents.
them. Oh,
but
boy.
you're not terribly versed on their family.
Okay.
You can roll a history check if you want.
I would want
Alright.
Who else?
17.
17? No.
I think Chris wanted to say
Not
something.
sure.
No, I was just waiting for the next. Every name that you say, I'm searching in my notes.
Then I have Tilton Hayward, Griswold Wind River,
What the fuck? Is it really?
Wait a second.
Technically, that predates.
That's a
No relation.
different
Or is
world.
it?
What happened?
Or is it?
That's my character.
That's
in
Kara.
two.
That's Kara's.
Oh
You
my
made me
god.
murder Jake?
No!
No, it's Kara Wind River. But
Oh.
So
Kara Wind
you
Driver.
killed
It's a terribly common name.
apparently.
Right.
Fenton Coldshore,
Okay.
Merla Mangleheart. Some of these are great, Kale.
Two other dead.
They're married.
They were.
I can't read where I marked through some of them.
Oh, there's a lot of dead people
Chacos
coming back.
Chalson? I can't read it through my own thing.
Get great sandals.
Yeah, that's right.
Then there's
I think it's
Iolus,
Chase,
and then there's her uncle is the next on the list. He's the only one without a mark through.
Well,
Which complicates things a little bit.
Wait, have you? Above table. Have you told us about the meeting?
you mentioned it last night.
No, yeah, I told
Okay,
you
You mentioned
that.
stuff, yeah. I was like, I think
Yeah,
so.
so
It's
I'm
not
gonna be
definitely
like,
me.
At
So-
first I was kind of an opportunity, but I also wanted information. And when I heard that he was supportive of Blair, I made the decision not to kill him
Right.
Which
in
is
that
commendable.
moment. And well, I didn't intend to, but I'm very conflicted on this.
I am so sorry that I sent you off after them too.
But after this happened, I'm
Thank
gonna
you for
explain
setting up
what
my own
happened.
I
with
didn't
this
know!
So I'm gonna explain that after this happened while I was asleep last night. I'm gonna explain what happened in the dream with the restraints and everything.
Okay.
So I'm facing like what I think is a real physical threat of being dragged back to hell against my will.
and you felt everything.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris.
I would like to make 2 checks, if you would be so gracious.
Oh, what would you like to
First.
do?
First, even though I know I don't recognize most of those names, is there... in Chris's head, it doesn't make sense that there's no connection between any of those names, because if Arabelle is reigning in hell at the permission of Astaroth, basically.
Because it's all topsy-turvy.
So I guess this check is there any link I can think of between those names that are like, and would that link be something in the interest of Astaroth, or is it just something? Is it more likely something that is just in Arabelle's interest, something that she wants to do for some reason?
Souls are not currency in some places.
Okay.
Understanding.
So, go ahead and
They're all 7
I'll let you
letters
make a
long.
history check for Merla Mengelhart, and then based on how you do on that, I may have another roll for you.
Did you maybe see?
Maybe
Maybe
it's only a 10.
You don't know shit.
It's weird, and Naomi gives you a kind of like rundown on like you didn't like scout these people very long, especially in the early list. Basically, up until Iolus, you just got pointed in a direction, went, found them, kill, soul suck, got.
I feel like I'd follow him for like a few days, but no longer than that,
Yeah,
because
so
I'm trying
you
to
know-
get through the list.
So you know that Brock Novak, the Unkillable, was you found him on a barge, a brothel barge in the Clockwork Cove. That was your first kill. A lot of these people on the list were kind of more seedy,
People.
just kind of like dirt bags, for the most part, up in the Rim Confederation. You went to Zudora, the Clockwork Cove, and a few other high-profile towns that you guys would like know of, and seem to have taken out, not like terribly well-known people, but definitely big shots of different industries.
Probably not, but nobody
What
that
did
Kirk would recognize. Nothing of that. I didn't think so.
I figured same here.
I might as well just check.
Everything's
Um,
all normal.
Had to pass here.
Okay, I have another check that I want to make, but before I get to that, I want to ask, Blair, what exactly does your uncle do?
What exactly does my uncle do?
He doesn't hold any specific like position, but being the Baron's brother has its perks. As far as you know, you haven't talked to him in months and months and months. But occasionally he oversees some of the like guard duties of the Kybella Guard and maybe helps with some financial stuff. But for the most part, he's just kind of running on the trust fund and has his own priorities that he messes around with. Other industries and like properties and stuff that he like independent wealth. He's trying to do independent wealth, not really tied to Kybella dealing.
Is Lucius the one fooling around with that maid?
What?
Patricia?
Yeah.
No, that was the head of the guard, the Kaidala guard.
Okay.
That was funny.
Is in league with Patricia. But no, Lucius was with Orandin, which so I guess all of you are talking together. So Lucius is obviously friends with Orandin. Orandin is the biggest arms dealer in the South, like in general. He manufactures weapons, and Kirk, you have a sword made by Orandin. What did you say?
It's a good sword.
I said it sabotages the careers of young up and coming inventors.
But
okay, my second check.
Yeah.
The second
I don't like
thing
my
I wanted
uncle
to
being
check
on the
was
same list.
about devils. Based on my experience or whatever I know, is reigning in hell, is it like supernatural where like the more souls you control in hell, the greater your power? Or is there any reason to think that a lower level devil having ascended to the throne basically would automatically increase in power? Would I have reason to think that there could be a physical threat to Naomi and that she could just be sucked back in?
give me an Arcana check.
Ooh, that's much better than, but not when I roll low. 13.
13. Okay, so you don't get the higher ends of what I was going to give you, but you do have a wide knowledge of specifically devils. You know that the hells and the abyss are very close to being in the same plane, but they are technically separate, and your knowledge falls on the devil spectrum. You know that having souls at your as a resource is always going to be helpful for someone who's trying to consolidate power, whether that's turning them into lower level lower level devils as soldiers. But since this is such a targeted list, you have the thought that it may not be about the quantity she's trying to pull in, it may be the quality she's trying to pull in may hold more power.
Recruiting.
It does seem like she might be recruiting.
Oh, yay.
She has
Given the one we helped with concern.
Fuck.
All right. Well, I'm not sure exactly how much danger you're in, but it could. I should just say, I think we eventually plan to go and at least visit the hells, just for
Just summer there,
Just-
you know.
You want to winter in the hell.
Winter in the hell, summer in the frozen.
Naomi is not sure she'd be
Please.
willing to go back to the hells for any reason.
Wait, what is this?
all right.
80s
Well,
now?
I mean, I at least was planning to. I should
Oh,
probably get my father out of bed eventually, but
By the way, we don't need long legs Zipperman for this anymore. I can.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, interesting.
Good, I don't
Alright.
think he wants to help us go down there
I don't think
either.
there's
It
any-
might still be helpful to preserve your
Forgot about
energies if we
long-leg
could
Zipper
get him
Man.
to just make it happen. Anyway, there's a chance the more of these names that we cross off, the perhaps the stronger she will be. Arabelle will be when we get there, but also maybe she will have more lieutenants at her disposal.
Well,
It's hard to be certain.
Naomi, do you know what will happen when you finish your list? Let's say you complete your list.
Well, is there an end to the list?
It feels like a slavery
I
that never
was
ends.
told. She just said I have to serve her until I pay off my debt for her getting me out of hell.
Oh, that could be.
So I don't know if
Definite.
there is an end, and when it ends, I just assume that I would be free.
Uh-huh.
But I doubt that's gonna happen.
Uh-huh.
Aska's like, oh, heard that before. Been there.
It sounds like you're stuck there indefinitely in this deal.
Yeah, those deals don't really...
Didn't really have a better option.
No.
To be fair,
Understandable.
I was in hell.
they really need
Which one? I
court-appointed
don't know.
attorneys for these devil
You
contracts.
did not have a lawyer present. Contact your local cleric.
There's a lot of lawyers in hell.
Terms of agreement.
Well, I'm not sure we have a solution at the moment. How long is it until we're supposed to meet Elias at the other gate?
Now.
Basically, whenever you guys get over there, we'll say around 8:30 at this point. It's been like 30 minutes.
How about your dad?
Twitching.
All right.
What about him?
Can we?
I've prepared the ability to bring him back.
How long would that take?
An hour.
So
Assuming it goes well.
it sounds like we're just gonna have to leave him here.
I don't think we have the time.
No, of course, but I was just putting it on the table for when do we want to do it.
I think the earlier the better, honestly, actually.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Lyra, I think it'd probably be more beneficial to have, if we can get your father back, it would be better to have him. Maybe keep him hidden like we had discussed before, but...
Right, but do you think maybe what we should do is we should go to this meeting first to figure out what everything is going on, come back, do this, figure out the vote, and then we figure out from there.
When we come back, we'll have them with us, though.
Exactly.
It'll be hard to... All right. She gets up and she starts moving up there.
Wait. I had an idea. If some of us would like to do that, I want to get down in those catacombs.
I think that has to go for later. I think that would make sense. That would make sense, if not tonight, this afternoon, after many dignitaries have left and there's a bit less people to worry about running into in the courtyard.
I will say, as you guys are trying to figure out your next steps, with an hour casting time, if you guys started it now, you would still not have enough time to go to Telendrin, have your meeting, get back by the vote.
Which is what I thought.
Well, what I was thinking
do all of us
is
have to go?
he could stay behind
No, but
and cast it.
I can
moral compass for her.
Huh?
What?
Meaning, Aska said at the meeting, this is above table, she needed her friends to go with us. He was the last one to pull her out of that bullshit when she put the mask on. He has to go with us.
That's right.
I think it just makes more sense for all of us to be there, and I want to be there for the dad thing, so I think it only makes sense.
Counter argument. We have always been chased at the heels, or been chasing at the heels of our adversaries, correct? Am I more or less correct?
Somewhat, yeah. Very true.
Why not make him sit and wait until after the vote?
We're
Why
important people. Important things come up.
We're important as shit now.
We're important people, and important things come up, and we're dealing with my father, and we're going to the vote, and then we'll deal with this.
And then we'll deal with it.
We're pushing the meeting to the afternoon, then.
Oh, sorry, we had to reschedule.
Would we like to send word?
I mean, I don't really have a problem doing that, but I don't want to keep him waiting without communicating.
Can you send the cup with a note in it? Can you send the cup with a note in it?
No, as people with standards, as important people with important things to do, we should set a good precedence of how we're going to conduct ourselves, whether or not the Count becomes the king or the Count stays the Count. Or we become enemies of the realm.
Come back.
Sorry. I think, yes, we should let him know that we would like to still meet with him, but maybe later after the vote. That way all the delegates are gone. We may have successfully brought your father back, could get more information that would be more viable for us, more useful. And then we'll figure out what we do next. But I think maybe making them wait on us. It's a power move. I like
this
it.
Message.
I don't know. Can you?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's not something we need to waste magic on. Beyond she'll pull out a piece of paper or ask Delilah for something that's less crumpled than what Aska would probably have.
Yeah,
and just
rip out
Tinker.
Yeah.
Use Tinker to write a brief message.
We could send a page.
Just be like, yeah, exactly. We can send a courier. And just write something like, what's his title?
He is now the Chancellor.
All right. My esteemed Chancellor Elias. Oh no, Haradan. Esteemed Chancellor Haradan. We regret to inform you we must reschedule. My sincerest apologies. I look forward to your company at the ball this day. Sincerely, the Red Hand of Nefasto.
Okay.
I would like to seal it with my thing.
Yeah.
Excellent. So sealed.
Yeah.
You hand it to an unseen servant, and the unseen servant, the little letter
forget
bobs
about
out the
those.
door to
They're
go
great.
find a
I forget
courier.
they're just constantly here.
I feel very good about that decision.
Feel very watched.
I feel very.
Blair definitely looks like she feels better having established slight power over
yeah, we're
the
important.
We're
situation.
setting our boundaries.
Like, yeah, the last 2
Establishing
days
us.
have kind of felt like just getting the shit kicked out of you.
Establish
It's
your
like, yeah,
self-worth.
Setting healthy work-life boundaries.
There you are. Yeah. The letter should have been very corporate. I will circle back on this on my own terms.
I'm going to need a handful of things if we're going to get this started.
What do you need?
I need that electrum.
How much?
I mean,
1,000 gold's worth.
Oh my god.
d-
Let me do some math.
I can pitch in some actual gold.
I mean, actual gold would be good, but
Stone.
as
What?
It's an actual gold, useless.
It doesn't work, actually. Gold does not. Electrum has magical properties, apparently.
yes,
It may be able to substitute for a diamond.
it
Ugh.
can. That is still a considerable amount, which brings up the other point.
He's like, you can give me gold.
I would like to deal with Damon.
Could potentially. Do the diamonds have to be magical or just diamonds?
I have no
They just
issue
have
with
to
him
be
dealing with
regular
Damon.
diamonds.
If it's the
family
spell, I
definitely
think
has
you're
diamonds.
doing
my
it's
mother would
it's
have a lot of diamonds.
A diamond or diamonds
You don't have any
worth
diamonds?
1,000.
I would rather
It
use
is
my
a
mother's.
diamond worth at least 1,000 gold.
Oh,
yeah.
a diamond?
A
She
diamond,
is a bitch.
so not
One.
even multiple diamonds, one diamond.
I will
One
say
diamond.
Electrum
Your
has
mother
never been
definitely has a diamond worth
used
1,000 gold.
for this
You
before.
think?
This
Yes.
I've had a spell
Go
like
talk to your
this
mom.
fail before.
I don't want to talk to her. I want to steal it
using a
from her
diamond.
room. That's what I
Because
want.
my
I want to
deity-
kill her, but...
But that's not allowed, so I'd like to steal from
Don't you
her
wish
and
it
use
was her name?
I want to use my mother's jewelry
That'd
to
been
fix
very
her mistake.
It helps.
Don't
I
you
would-
wish it was her name? Wouldn't that be so convenient for you?
So it would be.
I have no problem using any Electrum to aid in this cause. It would be interesting for my notes, but that's besides the point, obviously. You know.
If you're willing, it would be appreciated. Otherwise, we may have to take a...
I am willing, but I've never used Electrum for anything like this before. It'll be very fascinating to see whether it works or not.
Well,
pray
if
that
it
the
doesn't
cosmos-
work...
But maybe a backup would be a good idea.
If it doesn't work, we could take a stroll over to where my mother's chambers are, and I might need to borrow a piece of jewelry.
I can walk through walls.
That would be wonderful.
When you
So
think
plan
about
B.
every day-
And that's actually come up in conversation, and I feel more like strapping things on and just like,
What?
That's how I got into the meeting.
I would prefer a diamond.
So, I want to learn how to do that.
I believe you have to make a deal with the devil. I think
I'm not
that's
doing
probably-
that.
Yeah,
We're gonna
so
avoid that one.
Actually, I don't think that one involved the devil.
I think that's your background.
my deal with the devil had nothing. It never came with walking through walls. Just
Ask a
saying.
jelly.
Well, you got the wrong devil then.
all right.
If
I
I
mean,
stop
like,
in an object, it
can
does
compete.
hurt, though.
What else do you need?
I either need a diamond,
speak
I need incense to hopefully cleanse the air for my nerves and for my
Oh, wait,
concentration.
wait, once.
Holy oils, things of the sort. I have a handful of them on my person, but other than that, that's pretty much it. A clean space. That's really all I need.
Would the space upstairs be clean,
I
I would say so, but I'm going to hope so, really.
I forgot I had a shit ton of scalpels.
I think upstairs is probably going to be the.
So you're like holding
ideal
medical
place
tools when he
to-
says like
do
incense
that.
and you like
I
put away
could
the
also
medical
bring
tools.
it down to the.
I think keeping the dead body of an esteemed individual
In the
that we
hiding
have tucked in a rug in the attic.
That
I
is
think it
correct.
would be better to do this in the attic.
I agree, but
All the symbols up there are magical. It may only help.
What if it
all right.
Or
blocks
hinder.
out?
You could ask Ishari.
We could ask Ashari.
Do I have any semblance of an idea where she would be?
At this
At her
early,
boyfriend's
probably in her room.
There's a place in
I-
the forest that might work.
I've walked up and checked if she's in her room while you're bickering about the attic.
Yeah.
You knock at the door and she answers it.
Lovely. I hope I'm not intruding. Would you mind joining us for a quick conversation about potential
Sure.
plans?
Comes down, back down.
Ask.
Your magical sigils, do they block? I need to know what they block, basically. What do they stop?
They stop undead from going into it. It essentially becomes hallowed ground.
Excellent.
And it stops any spells that would damage me.
We're good.
From even being cast.
Perfect. All right, then. This should work.
And did you want to see if perhaps she had any other supplies by chance?
Incense are fine to be burned in there and things along those lines.
I have some up there. I don't know if you'll like the scents.
I like
that
patchouli
have.
and frankincense mostly.
I have lavender.
Aye.
Ooh.
Does the smell matter?
It does not.
Beggars can't be
She
choosers.
also has a big. She also has a big like tapestry that says "Live, Laugh, Love" on it.
You're supposed to be the cool
Liveth, laugheth,
godmother.
loveth.
Liveth, laugheth, loveth.
That's it. We're torching the place.
Lavender works fine. I'm.
Are we doing this now?
We'd like to, but
I
I
think we
need.
have to.
I need a diamond if we can.
I could get you 28 ounces of electrum. That's all it would take.
All right.
How many ounces do you have in total?
92.
Oh,
Shit. And dwindling.
And dwindling.
I
Just so you all know, I have not used any electrum, really, for any of the spells I've ever cast amongst you. Once or twice I've flourished a little bit, but no. So yes, that would be
you
considerable.
lent me some.
I gave you some, but that was for
Fun.
experimentation.
No.
Research, I assume.
Well,
I don't like the Dr. Frankenstein situation with my dad here.
Dr. Horrible, if you please.
Oh my.
Um,
I just
Wow.
need a couple of things, and I prefer to collect the actual artifacts if we can. If we can get a diamond, that would be wonderful.
Just in case.
How big of a diamond?
One that's worth around 1,000 gold.
At
It's
least
staggering,
around.
yes. But I'd rather have this work because I tried it once before.
Would you happen to know if possibly my mother has a necklace or something?
1,000 gold?
Yes.
I don't think so. Do you understand how big of a diamond that is?
Understand?
You've seen how big of a diamond that is.
Kirk is just kind of leaning back, going all this shit about making fun of my electrum, and now just like less than a pound. Diamond.
Good job, Dr. Bitcoin.
Yeah. Came in handy.
Maybe there's some in the reserves of the Noble Commission, but
I don't really want to go in there.
not jewelry, definitely not, and nothing that would be accessible. I've only seen a diamond that big once in my life, and I assure you it was not on this continent.
Butter me.
By the stars.
So,
Electrum it is.
Electrum it is. I pray that it will work.
Just like
We ready?
let him give you a sales pitch just for good measure.
if it makes him feel
as
better,
everyone's
sure.
like gearing up to get this going, Asuka would pull Blair aside and just say, I know this is a big undertaking. Of course, I will be there if you'd like me to, but I don't know that I'm going to be much use up there, and it occurred to me that I might look around for something that could be of help going forward. I mean, to me, but
I'd say it's
So
completely up to you. I wouldn't want to ask anyone to be uncomfortable or anything. I'm fine
it's
with
not-
whoever wants to be there, but if anyone doesn't, I completely understand.
it's not that I don't want to be there. It's just that I could use the time to do something else. Damn. That is potentially also productive. I don't. But I
As
don't want to-
Nicole, holy shit, dude.
This is a very long process. I don't blame her.
My time is valuable.
As Blair, completely understandable. If you end up being finished sooner than expected and you want to come up, you're absolutely welcome, and that kind of goes for anyone.
Sure. I mean, are you sure?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I feel bad I wasn't. Neither of us were there for too long when his situation happened, and everyone's being so kind to try to help me fix this one, so I have nothing more that I could ask of any of you.
Molly, you could. from what I understand, that's what friends do or can do. That's up to you. But if you're sure, then I'll do my thing and then join you.
I'm absolutely sure. I hope your thing goes well. She doesn't want to make you uncomfortable because she knows that you're uncomfortable, but she's now worried that she's making it more uncomfortable.
Yeah, I just do that thing of like take a step back and like glance at to like.
She gives you like
all right.
reassuring hand gestures.
Okay, all right. I'm just gonna be off.
Asuka, before you go,
Yes.
do you have like a 30-ounce vial or something like that?
30 ounces.
Do I have?
Do you have like a vial? You know, just something to.
30
have
ounces is definitely
This is 28
An
ounces.
empty oil flask. I have a water flask, and I do have a perfume bottle
I believe
that
what
has
you're looking
perfume
for is a
in it.
decanter, sir.
Basically.
I don't know if any of
I
those
have a
work.
bunch of
An oil
tokens I took
flask
off dead
might
people.
work.
It's empty, so I offer it over.
Okay, how about that?
No. I don't usually do much.
I
If you
need
need
some-
something else, we could ask the
I
other
have-
servants.
I
mean,
scrape a little bit off of it, y'all. I don't really need a whole lot at a time. This is a considerable amount of my reserves, so I just need something I would like to be accurate. I'll make it work. I open up the
Why
box.
not
and-
use a scale? Fluid ounces are different than an ounce.
No, it's not a fluid ounce. It's a solid brick. Like the electrum is like a is like it,
No, I understand, but if you use
Can-
like
can we-
if you use
I'm
like
gonna have
I'm
a
not
Vincent
doing.
servant
I'm not
bring in a
using
scale.
fluid ounces.
Okay, you get brought in like a Metallica scale.
is this
metallic.
Justice for all.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, all right.
It's a
Yeah.
fucking scale.
there?
I used to.
A
Yeah,
merchant's
alright.
easel. An
Not
easel.
like
A merchant's
like an
easel.
old one. It looks fantasy-esque.
Okay.
Measure out your electrum.
You know that symbol that's on like a
Now,
pawn
how are you
shop door?
gonna how are you gonna use it?
I'm going to find. Obviously, it's a scale that has weights. I'm going to get a small bag. I imagine something very light. I'm going to account for however much that is on the scale.
Tare. That's what it's called. Tare.
Mhm.
Tear.
That's correct.
All right, you're able to weigh out. What did you say it was?
28 ounces.
You're able to weigh out 28 ounces of your brick. A third of it's gone.
I'm just cutting lines of green cocaine.
Blair's like watching supportively, but she doesn't do the science thing, so she's like, "Yep."
It,
Doing
it
great.
looks like he's doing drugs.
It's Breaking
You're in
Bad over
Narcos.
here.
You're in Narcos. That's
She's
what you're
standing there like,
fucking
"I've seen this at parties. I didn't know this was science."
What if they have like really sharp knives and they just all
Well-
over the place? Why
Well,
don't
I
you
mean,
do
like
that?
in the past, I've Kirk's used like a
Glass.
small.
It's like breaking glass.
It's a little bit more. It has a little bit more give.
Tiny
It's like
chisel.
it's like a little bit more give than like obsidian. Obsidian, you have to put a little bit of force into it. This, you could like with the right kind of force, you could like hot knife it.
Oh, no.
But
So
it's really
not selenite.
no, it's really brittle. Once it's like broken out of a big chunk, it's really brittle.
Gotcha.
Measure your dust.
I'm
Yeah, measure
measuring-
your dust.
A zero, zero,
crack.
switching.
Okay.
All right.
While this is happening, I would like to ask Kishari where the armory is.
Well, it's outside the castle. We have a small one in, let's see, in the courtyard. If you go to the left, like you're going towards the main gate, and she tells you that there's one inside the castle walls, and then there is one for like the ward itself.
Yeah.
In one of the nicer parts of the administrative district.
I would like to go to the. While they're doing this, I'm gonna kind of not wave away. I'm just gonna be like, all right, later, and I'm gonna step off the balcony and fly down the ground, and
Okay.
from there walk to
Alright.
there. So,
What were you doing at the armory?
oh, you can come back to me. You can do them. I'm looking for something.
Okay.
Oh.
You finished weighing your dust.
At that point in time, Tulad's cleaning the environment and getting it.
No.
Just walk up and go.
You know,
The chaos.
you need to be incredibly careful with this. It is incredibly volatile.
I understand.
No, you don't understand. It is incredibly volatile.
I understand that I must treat it with care.
No open flames until necessary, and
There are no open flames required for this.
Okay.
Just shakes it.
Don't cast fireball.
Witch bolt.
Okay.
Fireball. He places it next to the body and
Gently.
He's got his book out. He's getting ready. He goes,
My
It
unseen
might.
servant lasts for an
I don't
hour.
know.
Would you like an assistant?
I would not mind an assistant.
And Azura's going to offer her assistance too for this process.
Yeah, but this
Awesome.
one's invisible, so he can't be in the way.
This is going to take an hour.
No,
So
I understand.
be ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get
So I wait
comfortable.
until you start to make sure it'll last the whole time.
Okay, who is in the room with Talad?
Four.
So you
So
four?
I guess, or
Okay.
me too.
If you want to be, if you don't.
I was still like in the main room because
Are you guys?
I'm
tell me
not sure
who's
they
in the
want
room.
me and my devil magic up there with them during that.
Who's on first? Yes.
Seems like I seem like I'm like putting out bad vibes this morning. So
I'm here for support.
Who's on second? No.
Are you
Who's
in
on
the
first
room?
base?
I'm in the room.
And What's on second? Yeah.
So
Third base.
before we get to that, Aska, what you doing at the armory? Because they are essentially starting the ritual or the spell
Yeah.
while you are gone. So
Okay.
you are not there.
Right. Which is the whole uncomfortable point. Yeah, gonna approach the door. I don't know. Is there like an office just inside, like a requisition desk, or
Yeah,
how's the
there's
layout?
there's a very sturdy door outside, and then a kind of receptionist area inside, and then there is a barred door behind the receptionist that leads to a small chamber and another barred door, and then you assume the goods are within there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, receptionist sees you. Hello. Oh, you're that red hand they've been talking about. What can I do for you?
Yes. Okay, this is my first question. I am curious. I recognize that plate armor is expensive and takes a long time to make. But I'm curious to know if you have any here.
Oh well, we definitely have some plates, usually reserved for higher officers. Do you have a requisition form?
No, I'm mostly doing research. I mean, if we can get things sorted. I mean, I work for the Count now.
Yes, and she gets a big stack of forms out, and she's like, you can make a request.
Bureaucracy.
You just gotta sign here, put what you want here, and then you will need a commanding officer to sign and seal at the bottom, and then you bring it back, and we can get it done.
Commanding officer of this ward, or just
Whoever. I mean, I assume if you're here, you're tied to this ward. So, she totally like missed the fact that you said work for the Count, and she's like, yeah, we all work for the Count, duh. But like, your commanding officer needs to sign off on this.
yeah. Okay. All right.
bring it back with the count.
That should be
Yeah.
fine. Okay.
Be like,
Well, thanks, I suppose. Good. Right. Okay. Just gonna like, hang on. Yeah, I'm gonna start to walk away with papers, and then just like do a U-turn and be like, all right. I mean, I know I said I work for the Count. I mean, he announced yesterday that maybe you didn't get to attend, but he announced at the ball yesterday. We are kind of his people. His what do we call us? Protectors of the realm.
Yeah, I think he just called you protectors of the realm. Yeah.
I worked directly for the Count Preston Holland
Oh,
as of yesterday.
you have like a seal or something? I
Do we have?
Yeah, we all got rings.
We got rings.
I don't know that he gave you rings. He
Yeah.
said you would get rings.
Would get.
Oh.
Like, we don't
We
have
didn't
it yet,
know.
because I only have one signet ring right now.
Not yet.
We talked about it.
Is there any way we could speed this along? I mean, you must have heard rumors. The last couple of days have been.
Oh, I've definitely heard some stuff, and I know who you are. I simply can't break protocol. And just like taps the desk. Yikes. A little bit.
Yes. Yeah. I'll just say I understand. It is very. I come from a working family. It's very difficult. Sometimes you just have to do, go along with the way that things are, and there's no getting around it. And I'll slide. 50 gold.
How much? 50?
50.
Her eyes
want this
go
so bad.
super wide and quickly slides it just directly into a pocket. Blanks a couple more times, takes the stack of papers from you and go, "Oh, look at that, I'm so glad you got them signed." Just drops them on the floor, turns around to the door, pulls out keys, unlocks the first set, waits for you to come inside to lock that door before unlocking the second door.
Tomorrow.
And takes you inside where she fits you for plate mail.
Hey, that's cheap. 50 gold is cheap.
And do I get it like right then?
Well, I mean, like, you can go ahead and put in your equipment, but it does take a while to fit, and then she's got to, like, figure out straps.
I will be clear, like, I don't need it to fit. I just need a set plate.
Oh.
It's a magic thing. I just need a set.
Okay. Well, let me just, I do need your a signature, at least on one document. Hold on. And
Of course. Yes.
gets you all set up and takes your name and the serial number of the plate to show who has it. Yeah, all of them have stamps on them.
Yeah.
She's like, "Are you sure you don't want me to fit
I
it?"
just like start. What does she ask?
It's like, "Are you sure you don't want me to fit it?" It's like Gimli when he walks out and just drops the chains. It's baggy. Most guards are a lot bigger than you are.
Yeah, I mean, give me one moment. I want to verify a thing.
Tomorrow's castle memo, the armory assistant has taken a leave until further notice.
Cindy put in our 2 weeks today. I don't know what happened. She said she loved this job. She's vacationing in the frozen forest. In the winter?
Okay.
Love skiing that one.
It doesn't explicitly say it in the arcane armor feature, but the way that I've always thought of it is like, there are no. It doesn't say like if it doesn't fit you, it fits you, but it does say like it attaches to you. Use the armor focus. You ignore strength requirements.
I'd say with all the magic that goes into that, it's baggy until the magic goes, "I got this," and makes it fit.
Yeah, that's what I thought. She asks like, "Are you sure you want to fit it?" I'm like, I've like spread my bag of holding on the ground, and I'm just like, kind of nudging pieces of armor into the bag. And like, "Oh no, it's fine." Yeah. She watches, a whole suit of plate mail go into.
Okay.
A satchel.
And I say, sorry, what was your name?
Oh, it's Cindy.
Cindy. That's a good name. People called me Cindy Gibbon for a while, so. So anyway.
That's nice.
Sorry.
Yes, Cindy, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
An excellent day. And have a weekend trip on me. I suppose. Yeah. And good. What does it look like?
What the armor looks like?
Yeah.
It's
Is it like Kybella colors? Do they have any
Definitely.
The
from that, or is it
armor
basically-
itself is pretty just generic. It's not even super shiny. It's good quality metal. It looks like some of the bindings do have a bit of Kybella colorings, but for the most part, this is just standard issue armor.
Cool.
Um,
Very, very good.
all right, and you head back.
I head back to the room. Guys, you're saying 50 is a lot to get. A normal sort of plate mail in D&D costs like 3,000 gold. So 50
Yeah.
is a steal.
Yeah.
Wait, how much? The guard makes a gold a year?
No, but like,
Oh, you said 50 times what she makes a year.
it was a joke.
Okay.
It's a shit ton of money to give a peasant, essentially.
It's like, here you go, here's a grand.
On average, how much does she
That's
make?
yeah. Walk up to like I don't know, a McDonald's person and go, hey, here's $50,000.
Here's 50 grand. I 2 weeks
I
to
think,
farm.
I think it's
I'm
like
just
a gold
leaving.
a-
I'm not putting
It's
it
too
You
fast.
have to think at like
for
a
good
Yeah, comfort.
like
at like a
yeah.
decent place. A silver will get you bed and breakfast.
above board. She's poor, like poor, not quite squalor, but she's poor. That money is gonna help her family.
But yeah, like at least according to the book, wealthy makes about 4 gold a day. That's like
Yeah.
what wealthy makes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, middle class is like 1 gold a day.
Yeah.
And she is not.
Not.
But as you go
It's
up,
like a copper piece a week.
we're gonna take a quick break before we get into ritual stuff.
Woo!
I want Blair and Tulad, or Lyra, or whatever we're calling her, to have a little,
Aside.
like, agreement, basically, where I want to give you bardic inspiration, but it only lasts for 10 minutes, so if there's any point where you feel like you...
Alrighty. Because Azura knows reincarnate as a spell, and so I was through RP gonna like utilize her knowledge from reincarnate to kind of apply that with assisting Tulad and all that.
Yeah, so that would be, that's more RP. But as we set the scene, so Asuka, eventually you come back into the room, and you just see Naomi down there. You know everyone else is upstairs. Kirk, Talad, Delilah, Blair, and Azura. You are all upstairs in Ishari's attic. Talad, do you want to say how you begin the spell and which specific spell you're using?
Alright. So, Tulad is going to go ahead and set his books out, light his incense, clean the body as much as he can, basically, and prepare it for the resurrection spell.
Okay.
So, from this, he's going to help by selecting a couple of stories that he will read from his sacred texts, primarily dealing with the moon's influence on life and such along those lines, the heavenly bodies, and how they influence the, basically life in general, and their different aspects and how they inspire people to be who they are. To hopefully inspire the spirit to come back.
Okay.
And to be a part of this again. As the spell is going on.
Okay.
So
I
he
was about to
sits.
say, would you like that to be your check?
I would like to go ahead and do that using a religion to find the stories that work, that are inspiring for the hour.
Okay. You tell, I imagine, a bit of your own tale and the reincarnations that you've been through and seen. So with Blair's Bardic, you wanted to give it to Talad, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, go ahead and roll.
Starts with his opening prayer and does the,
You have a D10.
that would be good. Nice. So that's a 25.
25. Talad speaks a beautiful prayer as he is finishing up the spell. Who's next? And what would they like to do?
I think I'll go next. And I think because Delilah, being the person that she is, she understands kind of the pain that Blair has gone through. And she's sitting with her, close to her, letting her do whatever she needs, hold her hand, squeeze it, whatever she needs. And I think going through that, she's going to pull out her sketchbook. She's going to open it up, and she's going to show Blair all the pictures she drew. She's going to see some of Aska, but she's also going to see the ones of us when we first met, when we were all together after, like, Ben Cow, and just some of the other stuff that she's drawn, like the fields when she was just learning how to draw. You know, maybe a picture of Axiom at his work desk. You're going to see a picture of a girl you haven't recognized before. And she's going to go back to the last picture she drew of all of our group. In flavor, I'm going to use Minor Illusion, and I want to animate the picture of us together.
Okay.
So it's going to be an Arcana, if I can make it Arcana.
How would you change it slightly to make it trying to convince Nearseer to come back?
For the whole thing of look at the happiness that your daughter is here, and she would be happier if you were back.
Okay. I'd allow Arcana. Remember, it will be your proficient skills are slightly higher DC, so
right.
Go for it.
That's gonna be. That would be 10, 17.
Okay.
I didn't like that face. I would like to be last. I'm just gonna put that out there. Okay.
I'll go next. When we're not locked out of using any particular thing if it's already used, right? Like, I would like to use Arcana.
Oh no, it's just specifically how you're doing it. Because skills and the sheet, that's crunchy, but what is this character trying to do to get this other soul to come back from whatever plane that it finds itself on?
Kirk's entirely analytical. He's going to look around. He's going to activate his third eye and look around where he can read any language. He's going to look around the room that we're in and all the different calculations and magical incantations that are built into this environment, and he's going to pinpoint each one that he thinks may be of use or may just may help in some way. Anything to do with rejuvenation, any kind of magical anything that would help.
Liveth, laugheth, loveth.
Yes. And he's going to
making this attic a home.
Finding those, he's also going to try and pinpoint with Tulod's spell going on. He's going to put a little bit of. He's going to kind of dump a little bit of magic into those sigils that are around the room and try and harness those to make a kind of
trying to amplify the spell.
Yeah, kind of amplify the spell or create a
positive vibes.
I'd call it like a divining rod or like a lightning rod, just to kind of wire it all in to come into that point where the spell is taking place.
Go for it.
I'm going to pump. I don't know if this will help, but I'm gonna pump the one of my 5th level spells into lighting up those sigils. So
okay,
and that would be an Arcana check. Electrum. That is a 27.
Holy
shit. Natural 19.
Wow. I have another spell I'd like to add if I can.
You can only go once. But as you are you feel the spell progressing. It's almost done, and Kirk does that. You feel way more powerful as you're doing this spell. Azura.
So Azura, remembering her teachings of reincarnate, similar spell, and similar getting the soul back for a new body instead, though. She's going to remember her teachings of how to soothe the soul and entice the soul to come back. And calling upon Saloon for assistance, Saloon's going to spark into her head just to speak about the beauty of the world that we live in, and then kind of transition that beauty onto Nearseer's daughter, Blair, and their relationship. And I'm going to use persuasion.
Okay.
Hands on the body. Forgot about that. That's a touch spell.
That was a 21.
21. With Azura and Saloon's words echoing around the space, you were the last to go.
So, Blair approaches the body, careful not to interrupt, but as close as she can kind of get. And with everybody, doing their part magically or verbally to kind of do what they can, she just approaches the body directly and just speaks to him as if it was just the two of them in the room, as if he was just almost like asleep, or, in modern times, a coma, perhaps, but just, still somewhat here and not, completely dead. And she just, Dad, I know we didn't really get to talk much before I left, and then things have been just all wrong since I came back, but I think now that you've left, it's gotten much, much worse. And if you can just come back, I really think that we can just turn this whole thing around, and we can get things back to where they're supposed to be, where you're supposed to be. And she's, getting really emotional and just kind of talking to him like, please, Dad, come back, just an earnest plea of persuasion from his daughter. So close. So that's going to be a 22. I don't whistle. It wasn't that good. It should have been better.
As your words echo in your own mind, and obviously there's no response from the body, Talad, you feel the spell close and the magic and power leave the room. You have sent out the call and are waiting on a response.
Hands on the body.
Nicole, would you like to make the final roll?
No. I roll very poorly most of the time. I would like to
We're
not.
gonna make Caleb do it?
Yeah.
Look, if someone else
that's
wants
appropriate.
to.
He's
Big
gone.
dice for
That's
big
where he's
decisions.
going.
Yeah.
So, I'm using the big one. The DC is 12.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it raw?
Yep. Straight roll.
Don't call it raw.
Straight raw.
It's gonna
Oh my
be
God.
raw.
No protection.
Shake it harder.
No gallows humor here.
Yeah! 17!
With a 17, you guys all hold your breath. Talad, you send out the call and still hands on the body. God, I'm fucking shaking. You
See, this is why I don't roll.
feel
I roll.
a warmth in your chest for a moment, and it's weird. It's familiar. Like just something reaches out and puts a hand on your back, and then you feel the chest of Nearseer start to get warm. and you see the whole body begin to just glow bright white.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Okay.
The whole body glows blinding white light until you have to close your eyes. As the light starts to subside, you see the head regrown, hair perfect but unbraided, just out everywhere on the floor. Talad, you feel the chest rise and then fall and stabilize as you are greeted with a heartbeat and apparently a sleeping near Sir Kybel on the floor.
It's sobbing.
I think I run over to you and I hug you and I said she was with you.
I couldn't have done it without it. Or you all. Yeah. He's rest. I'll leave you with him.
Everyone but Blair.
She's gonna
Yeah.
stay.
We're not. Wait, let you be.
Asuka and Naomi, you see everyone but Blair come back down.
That guy either be really good or really bad. Like, that tells me
That tells
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah, Azura's gonna be like crying, tears of happiness, and just
great.
tell you guys like we did it. It worked.
Oh. Good. You see Asuka like standing at the table, and there's a suit of armor spread out over it, but she's like, it's got etchings in it, but also she's cut her hand open, and she's like her fingertips are covered in
Just
blood.
blood!
She's been
performing
like
ritual.
marking and writing on the armor, and you caught her right as she has her left hand right on the center of it. She looks up, she's like, oh good, thank you.
We just had our Jesus moment. She's over here with her pagan shit.
She's like, seems very familiar.
And I think as you're like, after either locked with Kirk's, it looked like you were looking at her disapprovingly, or maybe interested. I don't know.
I'm just like, yeah.
That checks.
And her old armor is kind of in the corner, minus the helmet. The helmet's in with this suit, and then it all is wreathed in flame and like courses up her arm and then settles over her body, and she's like, jeez. All right.
Warn a person.
Good day. Good morning so far. All right.
Okay.
All right.
And she just rocked out of that.
Up in the attic, as you are left alone, eventually there's just the sound of the trap door being closed, kind of just echoes around the space a bit, and you see very, very groggily Nearseer's eyes open and sees you just good morning.
What? She's like trying to like.
Where are we?
What do you remember, Dad?
Why do you look so...
What's the last thing you remember? She
She
looks very nervous.
Let's see, there was, and he like
Does the
sits
dead
up
remember dying?
and he like sits up and his equilibrium's off a bit. Because there was the ball, and then your mother gave me a drink. But wait, no, then there was you all, and there was Miss Cinda Given, and then we went upstairs.
Mm-hmm. And she just kind of puts her hand on his hand.
Did I? Huh.
But we brought you back. However, there have been some things that happened.
Yes, I have so many questions.
I'm sure you do, and I want to talk to you more, but essentially, as you said, Mother gave you a drink, and then you kind of don't remember things until I found you. She has...
Yeah, let's just fucking just jump.
it appears she wanted to get you out of the way for some reason, and she has someone pretending to be you. I know. I don't know how to explain this any better.
He's just gonna
but
pass out again.
we're gonna need you to stay up here in Keishari's tower for the time being until we can be sure that it would be safe. We worry that even though we've brought you back, that if we were to introduce you, back, that they would simply try again. Or they would try to somehow pin it on me as some sort of power grab or something. She pauses to give him space because she knows this a lot, but it's important that he stays in the tower.
Yeah, he just takes your hands and this is a lot to process.
I know.
So I'm going to take some time and do that.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously I must believe you. If I died and you brought me back, then my only choice is to trust you, I think.
I hope you would. Unfortunately, we do want to, or have to, find out some things, so we have to leave, just with the vote and everything.
Understandable.
Are you
I will
okay staying
up here?
I didn't talk to Keishari about this part. This is Keishari's tower. I don't know.
I know.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure where you two stood.
I've been up here once.
Okay.
In the attic. the tower I have been many times. I just am I staying in the attic? Or am I staying
I think you'd be
downstairs?
allowed down. Probably resign more to Keishari's quarters, though, unless we're here just for safekeeping. We're fairly certain that they shouldn't try to send anyone here, to check. But just to be safe. You see, she's very unsure, but she's trying to, be...
Yeah,
it's weird telling your dad, no, you're grounded, stay in the tower. Someone's trying to kill you.
He's trying to understand, and he's just so confused and has relegated himself to just, okay, whatever daughter says is going, because she was dead, and then she's alive, and now I've died twice, maybe. Can't trust Ore. Don't know who you can trust, but you brought him back, so maybe you. So
we'll be back as soon as we can.
Okay, and I would say he probably goes downstairs with you guys, and you guys all see Blair come back with a very, very confused and sleepy looking
Confused dad.
Narasir.
He just sees all of us. We're like, hi.
Hi,
Welcome
and you all notice
back.
that his clothes are still blood stained, and it's the same ones that he was wearing, but all the wounds are healed.
Are you feeling well, Your Grace?
I'm
Just two people
She's like,
prestidigitate.
I'm feeling alive, and I suppose I have you to thank for that.
A bit. It's really mostly everybody else. I was just a conduit for it.
She's gonna lead through of he did the ritual and they helped.
There's many
I mean, shit.
tugging ropes that go into bringing a soul back, and one of them was you, so I'm glad that you wanted to come.
I'm glad that you called out, and don't make light of the skill that you have put out. Not many people in the realm, let alone the world, can probably do what you did. Take pride in that. I think I need a nap. And Blair said you have business to attend to. I'm sorry, how long was I out? How long has it been?
Just
37.
a night. Really, just
a
the
night.
night.
Oh, they haven't announced the vote yet.
No, that's part of what we're going to.
Interesting.
It's
Do
been
not
84
interrogate my
years.
father. Do not
I want to
interrogate my father.
But
Not the time.
there are questions.
Not the time.
Oh, do we want to bring him with us to expose?
No, we talked about that and we decided it would
'cause
make
they'll just
me look like a power
assassinate him
grabber, or they'll kill
immediately.
him again. So she's
have, like, a
gonna lead him back to
sniper.
Keishari's. She's telling him, he knows this, but obviously anything the unseen service. It's kind of like nervous, like your parents are at your house
Robin
energy.
had been in
Like they
fights.
know how being a guest works,
The
especially because it's his
Patriot.
house. But
So you got him all comfy and set up in his confusion.
it's very
Have some milk,
smothering.
it helps.
As you are smothering, trying to take care of him, you all hear a bell chiming. And as you have lost track of time, you realize that it's about 10 till 10 o'clock.
Late.
Not quite late,
Yeah.
but they are officially calling people to the ballroom.
I assume since I was down there doing nothing, I was like getting ready in that time.
Oh, yeah.
So.
For sure.
Guess we'll go. Yeah.
Yeah, Zura's gonna be rushing, putting on her
Luckily,
dress.
day 3 was the simpler outfit, so I think I can do it.
Yeah, Zura's was simpler. Yeah.
Running down the stairs, putting on eyeliner.
We're helping each other for sure.
Now it's like Anna and Frozen. She's like doing her hair
There's
with
unseen
makeup running
servants all
down
helping.
100%.
Coincidentally,
Yeah.
I had her do like the messy bun look.
I know, I was like, I actually have the easy dress for day 3.
Too loud's going down in this corner.
Feels appropriate.
Yeah.
You go down in your armor,
It's very
Asuka in her
open-y.
new armor.
I like it.
Yeah, I throw my. It's now covered in drying blood and fresh scratches, and I throw my tattered half cape over one shoulder,
That's the dress.
put my helmet on.
And the rest of you wearing either ball attire or I imagine everyone's weapons out, like still.
No, yeah, I'm
at least-
strapped up.
Definitely got Moonblade.
Um,
How does Moonblade feel about Dad coming back?
Ecstatic.
I like to check
I'd
in with
say-
my moral compass blade.
Yeah.
It's probably a good practice.
My emotional support blade.
Oh god.
Emotional support sword.
But yeah, she seems ecstatic. She seems irritated that she still doesn't have a name.
We're busy.
And you guys go downstairs and see all the delegates that you have seen over the past few days all huddling into the space. You see the ballot box still with 2 guards on either side of it and a
Is the automaton still there?
automaton's still there, crouched behind it, just
Just
kind of
like
scanning the room.
I like that thing.
And you also see, as you guys kind of walk in, the branded brigade walks in on the other side, and kind of both teams stand just a walkway in between them.
Just like square up.
You see the Eagle Man, Sir Morcaden. He just sees you all and goes, "Lovely day," and they walk in. He leads them in.
Very.
As the rest of you are getting set up and waiting for the announcement, as it were. Blair, you hear a tapping of a cane and a from behind you. And I imagine all of you are on guard and turn to look, and you see your uncle, Lucius Kybella. And he's standing there, and he just goes, "Good morning.
Morning, Uncle.
Long time no talk.
Yes, indeed.
I don't want to impose big ceremonies and such, but I would like a word, if possible, afterwards.
Absolutely.
Thank you."
Naomi is visibly sweating. Just like
You are that Key and Peele meme where he's just like vicious.
He's about to walk away and then sees you, and then
Big crowds make her nervous. I'm sorry.
I can't wait.
Sorry.
She just looks at you like, I tried. I'm sorry.
And you watch him walk over to a sidebar, and where he sits next to Orandon. And they are over on that side of the bar. Is there anyone before 5 minutes left?
Where's the count?
You do not see the count yet.
Where's Cape Guy?
Make a perception check.
Naomi's gonna get a drink if they're available.
There are bars. Yep.
Where's Lias?
Unnatural 20.
Look
Perception
around.
check. A natural 20.
For dead
You-
people.
You
Dead
take.
people. Oh, good. I'm sure that's it. Yeah, I'll use Divine Sense.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. So, Delilah,
Yeah.
you look around the room, and
Where's that fucker?
you just see sitting by himself at one of the other bars. You see not dressed in the
The
masquerade, not total red head to toe, but still wearing a red cape. You see this individual who introduced himself to you as Maurice. And you see him on the other side of the ballroom.
Is he with anyone?
He does not look like he's with anyone. He looks like he's like, he actually has his back turned. You can kind of just see the hair in the cake, and you know it's him. But he is at the bar. Like,
Fair.
hair of the dog, he is drinking.
Fair. 28.
28. You look around the room, and you see the Brandon Brigade, and they're all talking, and then they all suddenly stop talking, stand up very straight, and then part, and you slowly see Lias walk in between them, and then just stand at the front of them, and they kind of just like file in behind him, like a manager with his band.
We're gonna need to make amends for that after my uncle conversation.
And just for like staging, I guess Red Kit guy's over here. They're more near him, so they're on the other side of the ballroom than you guys are. Aska,
Do not talk to me about me.
Divine Sense is 60 feet, correct?
Yeah.
You
And I will, like, walk forward into the hall a little bit.
okay? So you
Just to
like,
get-
yeah, you're just trying to gauge.
Mhm.
As you walk around, you don't get any pings of undead. You don't get any fiendish pings.
Okay.
That leaves Fae or Devil.
No, Celestial. Celestial Fiends Undead.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely no celestial.
Don't look at me like that.
You're looking at me like that.
Yeah, I don't like this. What are you...
As you don't pick up a server like almost bumps into you carrying a tray and you just excuse me, and walks around, not undead.
I think fuck. Maybe.
As you are standing in the middle of the ballroom, you hear trumpets blaze, and clearly
Desperately
walking
beckoning
in with a entourage of Noble Commission guards, all holding the flag and seal of not just the Noble Commission, but underneath it, all of the various noble crests of the barons of Nefasto. There's like 18 of them. You notice all of the 5 families and then all of the lesser families.
Naomi comes back holding 2 drinks.
That's a rather big stick.
And then following in behind the Noble Commission, you also see flags of... at first, you may not recognize some of them, but you do know that they're the other independent counties of the South, as well as a flag bearing the emblem of the Rim Confederation as a solidarity thing. It's like yeah.
Do you say Lady Cabela walked in?
She has not.
Okay.
It is just the guards at this point, and they walk in and make a walkway, and you see the Count walk in with a elderly woman by his side, actually on his arm, and she looks fucking ancient. She is elven, but she is old very small. And he just kind of like, they're talking nicely, and they get up to the ballot box. She stays at the ballot box. The Count walks up to the automaton, and the automaton stands up, and the Count like nervously looks at Lias, and then bows to the automaton, and the automaton like takes a step back and like does this very robotic half bow because he can't tilt all the way over before exiting off to join the rest of the Brandon Brigade. The Count climbs upon his the throne of the Kybellas that he is using, and the guards kind of just kind of like not fall out, but like just come to a rest, I guess. They present their flags. The Count goes, again, I want to thank everybody who joined us for this event, everyone who was here for every unforeseen complication, and I thank you for sticking with us. In a moment, we are going to announce all of the votes and count them in front of you. I just want to say before anything, no matter which way this goes tonight, this is the first step to a larger conversation. But I think it's an important one. Please. And he motions down to the old elven woman. And she begins to unlock the ballot box and start counting.
Who is this lady?
Yeah.
You don't know who this is, but you would know her as she's like just like a magistrate.
Okay.
She's like a aggressively neutral person who's been here forever.
Cool.
So they're just like she's just gonna count the vote.
That
She's
makes
like
sense.
a clerk.
Yeah.
But you do not see anywhere your mom or the Baron, as it were.
Other dad.
Not my real
Brother
dad.
dad.
Brother dad.
Dad.
Two dads.
Utah. So she begins to count. Where's my count? Count for the count.
You're the count.
I have it. Okay.
Stop. You're making me
She
nervous.
goes one by one, draws out a card,
How many are there?
and says either
50
yay
to 70.
or nay. She counts out
I'm gonna be here a while.
69 votes.
Hey.
I thought you guys would like that.
Nice.
Actually did that accidentally and then went.
Nice.
Good.
Keep it nice.
Nice.
They'll love
Oh,
this
so
one.
there can't be a tie.
Yeah.
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 We assumed that was built in.
Oh yeah, and when I was like doing the votes, some very interesting swaps happened. So I was.
I don't know what that means.
Some House of Cards fucking Frank
Yeah.
Underwood
Some
talking
people
and shit.
flipped on me. I was like, this person's gonna lean this way, and then I did the mechanics, and
Fuck.
they flipped it the other way. So we had some interesting.
What was he?
Interesting
the,
flips.
The house. Nah, fuck it.
So
The
she
whip.
says, after counting out all 69 votes, she goes, as the votes dictate in this vote to consolidate southern Nefasto into a new kingdom of the noble south, the noes are 17 to the yeses 52.
What?
Please welcome your new king. And Preston just... I
Wasn't actually.
don't know what to... That is a...
I should have rigged the vote.
Oh, that is a wide margin. I am so thankful for this opportunity. And all of
should've
you
rigged it.
who voted no,
I should've done it.
you do not... These are not all-encompassing binding. Your no stands as a no. But with the
Dissenters.
stipulation that if you wish to join, that this is something you can join into if the tides turn for the worst.
I did this. I'm 57 fucking votes.
I'm like, for the record, we know like half the no's, I think.
I voted yes.
I voted yes.
The trumpets
Hail to the king.
blare again, and
I got a job.
Baby.
Orai Kybella walks in the room holding a cape, a beautiful fur-covered cape with all sorts of...
That's not
of-
okay.
There's no way for me to
beautiful
cast
designs.
Dispel Magic on
And
that
she
subtly.
You can cast
She
shield on
has
him.
a beautiful
Can I
smile
do that?
and
No, she
On other
has a
people?
touch.
up to
Yes,
him,
a touch.
walks past the ballot box and up the stairs as people are clapping.
Can I cast the detect magic for the spell slot?
It will be noticeable, but you can.
I mean,
Double checking doesn't
Yeah.
hurt. Who cares if they
Do
do?
it. I'll just do it. I vote really quick, just as a.
Okay, you can make a
Um,
sleight of hand check if you want to try it. But you are in a big group of people.
Yeah, I'm not. I think
Can I like aid
we
him
are
by like standing in
probably,
front of
like,
him?
close to the
If-
count.
Oh, then
It's
definitely
gonna
not.
be
Right.
noticeable.
Because we're his guards.
We didn't
We're just
have you
people.
guys there, but that would make sense if you wanted to.
I
do
just
that.
kind of assumed we all did get closer.
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah,
when she
not
walked in,
necessarily, like-
yeah.
Fallen.
She
Okay.
Wait, is he within
Better.
touching distance of her?
Yeah, I wouldn't be trying to be sneaky about it. I'd just be.
I would say then yes, she is walking past you, not being sneaky. You cast detect magic. What's the range on detect magic?
Shield.
I got you. Hold on.
30 feet.
30 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get Preston Holland has a magical ring on.
Yes.
You
I'm
get
mostly concerned with the crown, but I'll take anything else you give me.
Oh yeah, I'm going in least prevalent to most prevalent.
Sure.
You don't have much in your radius, so you obviously pick up all your friends. You get the Count's ring. You do not have the Branded Brigade in your range, but you do have Lias Haradan, and you detect that his cane is magical. He has a magical ring on, and he has a magical necklace on. And Ori Kybella walking up with a crown and cape, neither of which are magical.
Interesting.
As she walks past you, gives you
urge
all
to
brief
trip her.
smiles,
The
and
urge to do it.
does not meet your eyes.
Can I try to trip her accidentally?
Wait, do you have that thing that the hand?
You are not in
Yeah.
the walkway, so it would
Yeah.
be
It would be super noticeable. Okay,
it'd be
never
super
mind.
noticeable. So
Wait, what's the thing that makes thaumaturgy? Can't you do like
I don't
small
have that.
movements? You can do
she
enough
walks
to trip
up
her.
I don't
and
have
puts
it.
the
think I
cape
do.
on the new king, King
skirt up.
Preston Holland of the noble South.
Fuck.
And he takes a knee and then starts monologuing of Lady Kybella, thank you for the opportunity to host in this great hall
kill her where
this
she stands.
celebration that will go down in history, and all of you were a part of it. All of you made this happen. And he bows his head, and she places the crown upon his head, and he is king. As they like swap positions, he stands up, she bows, and then walks down the stairs past you guys again, and goes and stands on the side of the room, just kind of falling in with the ranks of people. Preston says a few more words of just more thank yous and more political niceties, and then goes, I know most of you have carriages to catch, airships to commission, or teleportation circles to find, but I will be here for the next 2 hours. For any of the no's who want to
Court.
maybe talk it over and maybe change your mind, or any of the yeses for what this really means, and for all of the yeses before you leave as a part of this new contract, I do have, and he motions from the side, and you see this big ogre, but dressed in noble commission clothes, kind of lumbers in, pulling behind him this big wheelbarrow looking chest. It's a chest with wheels, essentially. And he lumbers over into the middle, puts it down, and then just kind of waddles back to the side of the room. The Count sidesteps down, and he's actually kind of giddy at this point. All the stress gone. He goes down and goes, I do have gifts for all of you before you leave, and opens up the chest, and you see many different little like gift baggies, but they're black bags. You can't see what they are. But that's what he's doing. As the crowds kind of break, as the guards fall out of the middle of the space to the edges. What are you doing, Mr. Six?
What's
Is there any magic in the gifts?
Nope.
Okay.
If we're gonna be standing
I want to get
stillish for like the next 10 minutes, I would like to ritual cast Unseen Servant, be within 60 feet of my mother, and have it try to trip her.
Are you? You're basically saying on the middle of the floor, I'm gonna do a ritual.
Yeah, ritual casting is
you know
still
how current
noticeable.
ritual casting?
It's not invisible.
Okay,
How,
Can
I figured over 10 minutes I can try to be subtle about
Can I
it.
say I'm standing next
it's
to
probably
Blair?
more
Yeah,
more noticeable ritual
yeah.
casting
Fine.
than just casting.
Can I
Fine.
say I'm standing next to Blair?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, could I try to whisper, or would people be able to hear me?
Like,
I'm
if
sure
you're just
there's
whispering in
tons
her
of
ear,
conversations.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
going
whisper.
on.
I'm just be like, I have some poison on me if you want.
You see
Okay, now that
something
the-
shift in her eyes, and then she shakes it off.
Acid attack.
No, just a friendly offer. Like, if you want me to poison your
Unfortunately-
mother, I will.
I don't think now is the time. I
what's
appreciate it.
Not the time for
genuinely.
poison. Mom's
Maurice's
poison chosen specifically to
expression
mom
as that
poison.
is announced?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
What's Maurice's expression as that yes is announced? I'm curious.
Make an insight check.
Yeah, what did they want? What did they want? I imagine it was this.
Probably yes.
What was Orandon's expression?
Make an insight check against Orlando.
Uh-huh.
I am going to make my way to the side of the throne if I'm allowed.
Yeah, it's at this point, like, obviously you guys have more special privileges, but at this point the ballroom is kind of breaking out of that mass of people listening, now people mingling, talking about what just happened, and some of them are just straight up leaving, like they have shit
They
to do.
saw what they came to see. They're leaving.
No.
No.
You see him briefly when it's announced, like he had his back turned like the whole time. It's briefly announced and he lifts up a cup and then just pounds it, but with still back turned.
Okay.
Can I check the king and see how he felt about this? And he was genuinely surprised and things.
Make an insight check against the king.
I got one better for
Ooh,
you.
the king. Ooh.
I got one better for
Yeah.
you. Detect
King
thoughts.
rested on His Majesty.
The king.
Okay.
I thought you could.
I can do that.
I can barely stand to look at Orandon. Apparently, I got a natural 1.
Yep. There's so many people in the way.
I don't even want
You're really short.
As Kirk, as you
Hard to
try
see
to detect
people, I don't
thoughts,
know.
you are not allowed.
Yeah.
For the 3rd time.
Yeah.
Why'd you even try if you know at this
You
point?
never know.
You never
never-
know.
It could have been like a
No.
magic item he was wearing.
Because it's his ring. We know it's his ring.
I got the same thing, but you know,
As
could forget to
Talad
wear
and
it.
Kirk like move near
Check if
him,
he's wearing.
the king goes like the new like that. I got a cape. I didn't know they were doing this. I had no idea.
It was a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Mm-hmm.
He looks genuinely like, not necessarily like surprised because he's been like campaigning for it, but it's like super relieved. Like, okay, they believe in me too.
Like, we need to check
Kinda
on
thing,
the
like-
things he's wearing.
Like he really tried for
get
this
dirty
outcome
magic.
to happen, and it didn't just happen.
Making
It happened in a
silly
landslide, and so that part is surprising to him.
Crown, maybe.
But he definitely it's definitely what he wanted, and he's excited. Like he's like a little kid in a candy shop. Like he just got everything he wanted for Christmas and is just so happy. And he's just like,
I like
you know
him.
what? You know what?
It's
There was
genuine.
59. There 59. How many yeses were there? Some 50 some. I don't even know. So I have way more bags in here than And he grabs 2 out and hands 2 to both of you. And he's just like, please, I have to. He goes and gives all of you 2 bags.
What's in
free
it?
stuff.
What's this?
Each bag.
No, I immediately
Wait, even
opened
a
mine.
0?
Like, yeah,
They're
Yeah,
not
you're-
giving us
signed,
all
my
shit.
love.
me and you
You're
said
part of
no.
the team.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're not signed.
Well, because he said it was for everybody. He said yes.
Yes.
He doesn't know you
Yeah,
said
there
no.
are 4 people
That's true.
if they voted yes to come see him.
Gotcha.
But like
Yeah.
there's more bags in there. Like he prepped for like all yeses.
I see.
And so there's
To
some
give
left
them
over.
gifts, it's proper.
Each
I'm
little
excited.
bag has 10 platinum in it.
Oh,
Fuck!
You each get 20 platinum.
Fucking shit.
Wait, you said
Ooh.
We get 2 bags each.
we get 2 bags each?
Yeah, you just passed him out.
And
Long
he goes,
live the king.
We haven't finalized any contracts yet, but consider this in advance on whatever your monthly salaries come out to be.
Your Highness.
Yes, my loyal
rather-
subject.
I would rather
Ah,
have a bonus.
I know, I can hardly
Oh,
believe it.
loyal
It just
subject,
rolls
that
off the
didn't sound
tongue.
good.
Azura's like, obviously.
No, Azura has never heard that word and she hates it.
Yeah, I hate it.
As a princess, that's rather.
I
After
understand
like,
that. I understand this is a very big day for you. It's a big day for all of us. And now there are certain aspects of our relationship that has changed. Your
Are we having the talk? We're having the talk right now.
Your loyal subjects would like to know your first decree or your plans for the future, so we may carry them out.
And he's like
I'm gonna
actively
throw up.
people are like coming up to him, and he's
Blair
still like
tries to-
dishing out bags.
Is there anything
and he
else
just
in
goes,
the bags?
you, no shit, what is it? Morcaden, and the metal one. I'm so sorry. And Morcaden and the metal one, designation assassin.
DA.
DA walks up and he goes, Can you continue handing these out? I need to speak with my employees for a moment. And he pulls you
We get
aside
private conversation.
and he goes,
Take it.
Yeah.
Don't you want to?
This
It's
is
a joyous day. Do
conversation
you not want
happening
to?
over dinner, boys.
Do we not want to rest for today and talk about work tomorrow?
You have become a very important, very busy man.
I suppose you're right.
More than
I would.
Okay, first degree. You're absolutely right. Rest is for the wicked, and we are good. Okay, so first course of business. We have the thing. Oh shit! What happened with the? I know your father was kind of up in the air. Good. Okay. Good. Good on that.
You don't say anything.
Okay.
He saw one thing off of
You saw his headless body.
He saw the corpse.
No, I thought he turned around. I thought he refused to look at it.
Well,
He
knew
had
he
to
was dead.
walk. He was in the doorway.
He
He
knew
had
he
to
was
walk
dead, and he
past
knew there was
it.
plans to
So
bring him back.
I figured
So that's
all
what he
good
was
is
like.
enough.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so that's taken
Like, that's
care of.
handled.
Yep.
I don't know. If you really want something to do, I guess see who's hiding in the catacombs. Ori was here. Did you see that? So she didn't stay down there, I guess.
We were concerned when she came bringing a cape and crown.
I see how that could be. Oh God, do you think I should be?
And I pretend like I was helping you align it so that it looks less like you were frantically thinking you were being attacked.
Phil gives up.
And I just like brush off your shoulder.
thank you.
It's not magical. We did check,
Lovely.
We should probably take a closer look at it later.
but not here at the party.
Yes, I agree. If by all means, if
Nervous
you
laugh.
think something is amiss, I have so many guards here. If you need to snoop around other places and follow those threads, be my guest. And just on a general rule, since we're having this talk, anything that you deem to be business of the realm, anything you are following that you may think is a national security threat, then you have my approval to do anything that must be done. If we need to clean up afterwards, that is something that can be done, and any spoils you find along the way are yours to keep.
excellent. But on that note, just out of curiosity, what's the timeline on those rings you mentioned? Just some kind of proof of association.
Oh, yes, I will have to have those made up.
We settle on a name?
A day or two.
We should get Bixby a leg ring.
We will have an official contract signing ceremony. Of course, it cannot just be me. The rest of the council will have to see there, adjudicate, witness, sign off.
Yes.
A whole lot of shit. But we can give you that. We'll schedule it 2 days time, 1 day time. I can probably expedite them for tomorrow.
Do you
but
have
it's a
anyone
bit
that can help
rushed.
you organize and
I
maybe
feel like
plan?
Kishari is
Kishari.
probably...
Well, that's why I have a council.
I think
I'm the king at
a
delegation.
strong inclination that Kishari is the brains behind the face of the operation.
I think at this point, Lila pops up and you can tell there's a little bit of annoyance in her tone of voice. I think for the time being, let's just schedule for something for 2 days, and if something comes available, we can contact you later. We have business we have to attend to.
I apologize. One of my family members wanted to speak to me, and there's just some other things.
Oh, I understand. I actually, I can't let the eagle and the robot do the smooshing.
Yes.
So, please excuse me and thank you.
What?
Thank
Can
all
your
of you.
first decree as king
That
Pain heard.
free Brandis? as the family is unlawfully keeping.
There are concerns with that, though. I think that's something that maybe we'd have to talk about later, as we
Indeed.
know
How about
other things.
how about an official talk tonight? We can talk about
That sounds
anything,
That sounds great.
and we can
Prob-
absolutely. I think that's
Probably
that's a good
Kishari's
first degree.
area.
A bit of a show of power, show of force.
Exactly.
Who's in charge?
Exactly.
Oh,
Like-
no.
Let
That's
us
bad.
go. I grip you really tightly and yank you
All
away.
this is an invocation of goodwill to the people and bringing justice to innocence.
We
fully-
can talk
fully
about it
agree.
tonight.
Later.
Unfortunately, I
However,
want to
I
be
agree.
present and
We
I
should
have
also
to-
probably
And
talk
he
in
moves
our
on.
or Kishari's area so that the
I
other party
figure
can be involved in the
We're
conversations.
probably gonna communicate through Keshari when we're done with the party thing.
Well, I'm just saying the party that can't leave the room can be involved in some of the discussions also.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So the king goes back to dishing out his party favors, and with the he's just gonna wait for you guys to contact him later tonight, and then it'll be at Keshari's room most likely. What are the Misfit Six doing?
I really need to speak to my uncle. Where is he? Can I try to spot him as I'm having this conversation?
You spot him on the other side of the room talking to Lias Haradon.
I see that. I can wait a minute to talk to my uncle.
Why wait?
Because
Two
he's
birds.
talking to Lias.
Two
And
birds, one stone.
one is a private conversation, the other is apologies, we blew you off, let me go talk to someone else.
And you see, as you're looking at them, they do seem to finish their conversation, and
Grab some more drinks.
Lias starts walking towards you guys,
shit.
and Lucius sees you and like makes a gesture like, hey.
Like 1 minute.
I kind of clock Lias and I, Uncle, 1 second, and then go to greet him as he approaches the group.
Okay.
Oh, we're not on first name basis. Retreat. Mr. Paradon, how are you this morning?
I am
Chancellor?
I'm like,
interested
if I
in my
thought
new
it was more
role.
proper
Chancellor will
to
be
refer to him
fine,
as
or
that.
Mr. Haradon.
Whatever I thought would
not
be more schmoozy.
Very picky.
Apologies that we had to send that page. Unfortunately, something came up personally, and I wanted to greet you myself. I didn't want to.
That is fine. And he kind of like looks at Aska more than anything, since you're the one he's talked through. And he goes, "Is this a meeting you are still interested in pursuing today?"
Yes, I will kind of clock the group, but if no one says otherwise, I'll say, yes, Lord Chancellor, we are very, very curious. In fact, I think we might be able to accompany you within the hour if things are that urgent, unless something else pops up. I know we have a couple of the people we need to.
I would prefer within the hour. I'm going to find myself unbelievably busy the next few days. Lots of paperwork to solidify a realm and such.
Yes, of course.
So, I pulls out a pocket watch. I will be leaving back for Telendrin in 30 minutes. I expect if you are out in the courtyard by my private carriage, that you are coming with me. If not, consider the meeting postponed.
That sounds more like a
Walks
kidnapping
away.
meeting.
Chancellor,
Yes.
I am just curious, now that it's all out in the air. Were you one of the 17?
You know, I do not believe you are allowed to ask people how they voted.
I mean, it's not polite, but seeing as how we're on the same side.
No, it is not polite. And he walks away.
Can I insight check?
Yes, that is a yes, he was.
It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. He keeping his cards, obviously, he kind of,
to his
he's
chest.
irked at Kirk. He's very irritated.
But do you think
you
it's
asked.
more like, how dare you even ask me, or how dare you, like, ask me in public like this? Like, the first is definitely, like, obviously a yes, how dare you ask me. The second is much more like, how dare you ask me in this setting.
You get more of a how dare you breach protocol, and also a hint of, do you know who I am? Kind of like, are you serious right now? Like, I said something and then you said something back to me. Are you serious?
Apologies.
He's walking.
I have to talk to my uncle. I'll be back.
You turn and Uncle's right there.
Uncle!
Oh,
I'm so
Naomi's
sorry.
just standing there like,
I'm so sorry.
oh, 5 minutes max.
Absolutely.
you know, I'm just like,
So they will go off to the side. They go off to the side, and he goes,
Naomi's just watching you guys like,
interesting development.
Yes, things have changed a lot since we last spoke.
A lot. Very much a lot. I can't help notice the sword you wear across your back.
Yes.
It's quite familiar to me.
Was he one of the previous?
He wasn't.
I was like, I didn't think
But-
so.
You get the idea that he knows history. He knows the family history. And he continues, and he just goes, it would be interesting that it would fall to you.
How do you mean?
Well, the Moonblade has gone by many names, and always it has picked its wielders from the Kybella family, but above all, that is the Kybella sword. And that is the head of the Kybella family sword. The sword does not pick anybody who is not, how do we say, not to speak for the family as a whole. So I find that your return to Castle Arglaia at this moment in time quite coincidental.
Insight check.
For what?
I just don't like the way he said coincidental. Is he, like, implying that I am up to something, or that
He definitely
something
seems
else
like
is afoot?
he seems like he's implying at something.
Are we close by? Relatively close by?
Yeah. Probably 20 feet or so.
Detect thoughts.
Detect
Fucking
thoughts.
damn it.
Are you prying?
No.
You,
Surface level.
You get surface level thoughts of pride, adoration, and opportunity. And he continues and goes, you know, before you were pronounced dead, it was a lovely service, by the way. They really spared no expense. You were
know that.
heir
Well, he ain't getting any
to the
dinner.
throne.
Yes.
So, it would stand to reason, now that you are not dead,
Yes.
that you may still be heir.
That is the assumption I was under as well.
And if an heir was to be chosen by the Moonblade, perhaps the wrong people are sitting on the throne. You know, it doesn't say in the Kybella bylaws that the rulers have to pass away for another to take the throne. Abdication has happened in the past,
Absolutely.
and it could happen in the present as well.
It certainly could.
It's like,
Speaking of
okay.
me being declared dead, I've been meaning to ask about it, because I was quite confused when I arrived back home, seeing as I had written letters to my mother about my location and state of being quite recently at the time, actually. Funny enough, I found a record of some of the Kybella lineage and history, and when I saw where my death was marked, it was actually before, so I'd had correspondence with her after I was declared deceased. So I think you might be onto something with your observation of where things sit.
Before the spell ends, what am I given?
He is fears confirmed, if not heightened. And he looks over his shoulder and like looks across the room, and you kind of follow his gaze, and you do see Ori on the other side of the room talking to Lias Hardon.
Is my fake father anywhere to be seen?
You do not
Okay.
do not see. And he just goes, there has been growing suspicion regarding your mother and
She laughs outwardly.
the possible lapse in faculties of your father. Things have been amiss, and this is another piece of the puzzle. I must go. There are some colleagues I need to confer with, but
The symbol on the rebellion thing, it was a hand gesture, right?
a fist with a delta on it. Yeah.
There's no subtle way to do that then. Can I think of like some sort of way to like kind of rest my hand on my face in this exact like, because I have it with me, but I don't want to flash it at the party. I believe that could be a good idea. I think that we both might know things that could be beneficial to each other.
Just subtle gang signs.
Essentially.
Make a performance check.
Happily.
You could just give him one of these. I do believe
Ow.
that could be
Do you have minor image?
I don't. No.
minor illusion.
Yeah.
Minor illusion.
I do.
Yeah, but
Tiny dancing naked lady.
I was 14. I wanted
14.
better. It's not bad, but it could be better.
He rolled bad too,
There's a lady
and so
in
he
my
doesn't
head that
seem
calls
to
me
clock it
son.
at all.
Please,
But he
don't
goes,
leave me.
I would like to have, obviously, your mother coming in contact with you and still sweeping an air under the rug. I think we may have what we need to put a new Kybella on the throne, one who is not tied to suspicious deeds, one who is, at the moment, a protector of the realm and a carrier of a moonblade.
I agree.
Then we'll be in touch. And he leaves.
I come over.
I have 2 new drinks by now. Basically.
Can I take one from you? It's been a lot.
Yeah, go for
Give him
it.
the whole.
It went well. He knows more than I thought. But I tried to clue him in that I knew things as well. I hope that's the hand I'm holding the drink in. I hope just drop it on the floor. I hope it went through. I'm not sure. Basically, my mother has been suspicious. It seems that other people have been kind of confirming what Naomi found out, and I think my father eventually making a comeback, and especially being on our side, will be
How loudly are we talking right now?
our normal weird
normal
whisper
huddle.
party huddles that we don't talk to anyone else at.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, maybe we should talk to him before.
There are certain words
we
that are
let
gonna be, like,
everyone
more
else know that
mumbled.
he's here, too.
Oh, how long has it been?
We'll talk to like
15 minutes or so.
So I don't think that I can run to the tower in 5 minutes, have a 5-minute conversation, and then run to the courtyard in 5 minutes.
Well,
It'd be cutting it very close.
I assumed we'd talk to
I
him
can do
after
something.
our meeting with Lias.
But we're gonna be leaving with him. I think we just have to go with Lias. I don't think I have time to check in with my father.
I mean, I could.
I said
I
Lias.
can.
I could get
What?
us there.
Lies.
That's what I said.
Okay.
What did I say?
Viola's.
I said Lias. I think it just whatever.
We'll look at it in
She did
playback,
like an
whatever.
and then like
I think
pause.
we have to check in.
She did
Whatever.
like an like she was
Lias.
thinking.
Fucking, it's your fault that this is happening.
I could
All my
cast.
sons are named after their father, damn it.
Shit.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of running
Don't you use
to
logic
check
on
in
me.
briefly with my father and then go
This
back
is why we had
to the
Eric's
courtyard.
son.
From what I hear, it's rather difficult to run at heels as well.
I could
very
just take
flimsy.
care of it.
What
I
I
could
could-
just help you.
Or I can
Take care of
just
it.
send
Yeah.
message
I
to
mean-
him saying, "Hey, we're gonna talk to you later."
Do you want to talk?
message
Do you
go
want
out?
to see your
I
dad's
have
message?
message.
120.
No, they can do their thing. Mine's separate.
It's 120.
Face to face or message?
There's no way we're within 120 feet.
No, not
I'd
like
still
that.
have to travel, yeah.
No, well, it's whatever.
How long
No.
can this chat really take? If it starts to take too long, we can send a sending.
That'll work.
What is this?
Oh, I know what you're doing. You will be named. Dimension door.
Dimension door.
We just dimension door up to. Yeah. What does it matter? We might as well be the fucking like secret police to all these people now.
It's just jarring.
Well, yeah! God complex has gone up
Yeah.
2 whole notches.
I am a very
Alright,
strong.
you guys are
and
up at the
powerful
tower.
We
Nearest
can-
here, are like, oh.
We both look
No,
frazzled.
they-
Thanks for knocking.
Wizard. You're
I
welcome.
also didn't know this was happening. Hi.
It was the quickest way to do
Close
Hi.
up for your first time.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi. Sorry. The vote went, mostly yeses. A big wave of yeses, so we have a king now, just to let you know.
Excellent.
I wasn't sure where you were on that, but I thought that you should know, since it will affect you when we fix this anyway.
I'm
So
not
weird.
entirely sure how I feel about it, but continue.
I understand. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I found a book. Just
It's not mine.
trying to keep the stress levels
He's in Kishori's
down.
library thing.
Let's say it's not mine. Mine's on me.
No.
That would be bad.
Has Keshari come to check on you, or has anyone else entered?
Nope. Just me and the unseen.
Good.
Your uncle.
Yes! Dude, so many things in the
I
ring.
know.
So, what is his name?
Lucius.
Lucius.
Lucius
Uncle
Kimball.
Lucius ran into me. We had a bit of a conversation. It seems. Oh, by the way, I found this on you. And I show him his rebellion thing.
And he takes it and like
When
looks
you
around
were
for a moment.
attacked, they were trying to take it from you, which is why I grabbed it. I figured if this didn't succeed, it would have been better not on you. I do know what it is, but we don't have to talk about it right now. I do know my uncle is part of it, and we were having a conversation where essentially he, not in so many words, suggested that we adjudicate Mother off the throne and put me in place. We're going to have a conversation about it, apparently, after he talks to his people, who I assume, I gesture at the token, is them. But I thought that this was important to keep you updated on. She wants to bring up the Moonblade stuff. She wants to make sure that he's following. This is a lot for a newly revived man.
Trying to keep the stress levels down.
I know, I'm not helping.
Like you just
Most
bring him back
daughters
so he
don't.
can have a stroke.
I would say after some contemplation, he comes back with technically your mother isn't on the throne. I am,
Well,
but I am starting to realize that maybe she lied about you. She tried to kill me.
Should we
She didn't bring that up. Don't bring it up.
Maybe,
I'm not bringing it up. Not
Okay,
now.
alright.
Not now.
maybe I have ruled for long enough. Obviously, I have let a few things slip.
That is not in any way what I meant to imply. Really, the concern is more with Mother, and as I mentioned, the imposter that is technically in place on the throne. And I don't think he's seen Moonblade. I kind of bring it forward. am hoping that I would be a suitable replacement, though in my opinion you've been a wonderful ruler. It just felt like something I wanted you to be involved with.
I agree, actually. And there's an imposter and your mother, but now that they don't know that we know, and they don't
Blair is
know that
concerned.
I am alive, so maybe there's a way to undermine her without further bloodshed.
I kind of point at his rebellion token. Perhaps.
Oh, well, yes, but now things are a lot more complicated now that it's a kingdom, not baronies. What if tomorrow we call a special service with the king, and my staff? I'll have the paperwork drawn up, and I will abdicate to you directly.
Oh shit!
And with
How would
witnesses,
they-
how would
how
they
would
know?
they know?
I would.
Oh.
You see
they
Blair
know?
getting drawn into the
I want
plan.
to know.
Time out. Sorry.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. It's a good idea.
It could cut the legs out from underneath, all right.
Yes, of course.
Couldn't do anything.
She could not do
Let's circle back.
anything
I think-
except
It's definitely something that we have to
should
talk
kill
about.
you.
we should probably deal with the imposter first, so there
We-
could be no naysaying.
Well,
With witnesses, that's the whole
that
thing.
is
There's
possible. It may be a further conversation, but an emergency meeting called by me. Pull them in. Do it quick. If the imposter shows up, so be it. They won't be in power.
Deal with them at that point. Clearly, there's
Or
an
maybe it would
imposter.
draw them out. I don't.
there are a lot of other factors that we do have to talk about. Unfortunately, we do
There's like, I
have
honestly,
to.
I want to be done
This is
being in
gonna
charge.
be
It sucks.
So we're on a limited
We
time
have
scale.
to
We
go
have to
speak
leave right now.
Chancellor
Absolutely.
Cardon, I'm so
Absolutely.
sorry.
I am going to, and he puts his book down, and he's like, unseen. I need papers.
No,
I need,
not. Nothing goes out until we
Nothing
come
goes
back.
out. I am,
You can plan, but nothing goes out.
and he takes your hand and goes, I am making a will, because there wasn't one in place, and now there needs to be.
No, she's concerned again.
You know, in hindsight.
He's like, well,
Bamford.
he died
God.
already, technically.
For the rest of
How old
you,
is
you
he?
see Elias's carriage pull up in the courtyard.
As soon as you have a kid.
I'm going to
He's
start.
not in a
I'm
combat position.
walking. I'm
But
walking.
no, as soon as you have a kid, you usually make a will.
My parents don't
So-
have one.
I wanted to do a thing before we, while
Yeah, what's up?
the conversation with Lucius was going on.
Okay.
So she walked to him, and I kind of look around, look at the ground, and I make my helmet disappear, and I grab a champagne flute off of a tray somewhere, and I pound it, and I put it on another tray as it's passing, and I find Orandon.
Okay. You find Orandon on the other side of the room, talking to someone, but as you start walking up, he shoos them away and sees you and goes, "Ah, the Red Hand! What can I do for you?"
Yeah. Do you recognize me?
I'm sorry, you're the Red Hand. You're at the king's
Do you know
side.
do you know my real name? That made its way around.
Oh, you're that. I'm sorry. I did not recognize you. You've changed so much. You were Loki's kid, weren't you? The one you were involved in the whole Tarsus Agrabah
Yes.
wedding fiasco.
Yes, I was involved.
Yes.
You could say.
Yes, you know, you never like to see such a skilled craftsman be run out of town, but you seem to have done so good for yourself.
Twisty knifey.
And how did you make out after that little incident?
I'm not sure I know what you mean. Are you attempting to talk business with me?
Maybe eventually. I'm just, a week or so ago, I realized that you must have had some kind of hand in things, but it's been an interesting time, and I suppose a thank you is in order. I've made some strides that I never would have imagined creatively. So,
I don't follow.
Can I make an insight check
Make an insight check.
to gauge how he's playing? It's only an 11.
He seems very composed. Very composed.
Well, perhaps I was wrong, but I had hoped, at least, that perhaps you were clever enough to profit from what went down. But just in case, and I'm going to take, hang on, I think I still have one. Yeah, I'm going to take my last, oh no, I'm going to take one of the smoke grenades that I have. Says, that little stunt inspired this. And I just kind of chuck it to him and say, have a good day. I think if what we learned last night is of any indication, we have more in common as far as our interests go than you might imagine. Have a good day. And I'll walk away.
You walk away and leave him holding the smoke grenade in his hand.
I want to ask a clarifying question because this got brought up and I want to make sure my notes are correct.
Okay.
Randon, when I detected magic last night, had an evocation thing ping in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yep. And it was big.
It was big.
Yeah.
Is that a magic item in your pocket? Or are you happy to see me?
Oh my god, was it a cool ballot box?
It was about the size of this, like a book or something along those lines. As Lias Hardon's carriage
Inside of
pulls up,
carriage.
it is like a stretched limo of a
We
carriage.
Oh my
Yeah, you guys are all there.
It's the
my
courtyard,
God.
right?
Is the
Yeah,
courtyard
courtyard.
where
We
the
bamf
dragons
behind that tree.
were. Okay.
Gonna stroll out together. It's gonna look weird.
It was very strange doing that with other people involved. Just so you know. I
only
don't
done it-
typically do that.
With you, and it was weird. So
Yes.
This is making you guys look worse if
Li-
you're
yeah,
having this conversation
Lias just
when
like
you walk
walks around the carriage and sees you guys and just come on if you're coming, and gets in the carriage. The carriage is like a Tim Burton daydream.
Oh.
It is
Figured.
black wheels, black horses, and the inside is red puffy velvet.
Man after my Madison's heart.
Yeah. Very, very nice aesthetic.
You know, they got Pimp My Ride and Goth My Carriage.
Yeah. As you guys all pile in, you guys can all fit in the carriage. There's kind of like a L-like seating, so you get in on the doors, and then there's just seats all inside of it. And he sits down like a limo. He sits down at the very back of it, so he can see the entire limo ahead. And he goes, "Is this everyone? Is this all of you?"
Is everyone
Is
with us?
everyone made it.
Okay.
And
Bixby.
he takes his cane and like is about to thump the ceiling when you hear "Oh wait for me!" And
Is it Maurice?
and the door opens, and you see climbing in this mess of gray and blonde hair with a red cape.
Yep. God
gets
damn
in
it.
with a cup of something, and he piles in and like sits down next to Azura, and is just like, "Hello," and he's liquor breath. And Elias just goes, Maurice, I did not know you needed a ride back. And he goes, if you would be so obliged. And he spills a little bit of his drink, and Elias just on the top, and the carriage kicks in, and the horses take you out.
Azura's gonna cast lesser restoration on him.
Oh, and
Sober
she
him
just
up.
and the alcohol just comes back into his cup. And he goes, oh wow, I feel much better. Thank you. And he like pulls down the window, opens the door a little bit, I guess, and throws it out.
Visibly like
throws
oh,
it
that's
the
in
whole,
my
the whole cup and
courtyard.
everything, just throws it out.
And
Oh,
sorry,
now he's littering.
tried to interject, and I don't like interrupting. Before Azura leaves like the ballroom area, she's gonna find like a noticeable wall, and in Druidic language, she's gonna write basically, Princess Azura, Lunari, or Jesus, her whole.
Oh my God, you're fucking
The
tagging the
whole
wall.
graffiti
thing,
your
you're gonna put the
entire
whole-
title.
okay.
You're tagging the wall.
Druidic language is a very like eloquent, like it's a bunch
That's
of
cool.
swirls
You're
and shit.
graffitiing my castle with your title.
Yeah.
Just the full title. Anything other than the
Yeah.
title?
She's gonna put like a frame on it
Yeah,
when she's in charge.
she's gonna do her full title, Princess Azura of Lunarium Dynasty, Lord Commander of the Rota Nocturnes, yada yada yada.
Was here.
Was here in like a slang of WUZ, whatever Druidic that is.
Was.
And then it'd be like P.S.
It's
Fuck
lit.
you, Cloverlit.
Beautiful. Okay.
Great. Nice.
She's just gonna be like humming and
The
and,
unseen
like, singing
servants
while
are just
doing
gonna be like, God fucking damn it, why do they keep doing these things?
Scrubby.
All right. So that gets tagged.
They
before you
don't
guys
get
to
not
take it.
paid enough.
Jesus.
or at least not easily.
Not easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, you.
Well, because you can't
definitely
even.
get it
It's
right.
not even noticeable. It's not even like a noticeable language. You have to do like an intelligence check to even know that it's a language.
Yeah, but it's
It's more.
It's
art.
still it's
It's
things
like-
on the wall.
Goddamn kids drew on the wall.
yeah.
But you guys
Don't worry.
get in the carriage and you ride for like 20 minutes or so. So
I was gonna
Whatever,
ask,
I'm sure we have some
is
druids in us.
it long enough to get a long rest?
No.
I mean, a short rest.
A long rest.
Kurt
I'd say
fully
not-
passes
not
out.
Quite.
Damn.
Not quite.
Okay.
Like, all right, I'm taking a nap.
He's like, oh man, I love sleeping in carriages.
You guys.
They just put me right to sleep.
They hit a
Big
It's
baby.
blaring at
It's just
Maurice
like-
the whole time, but my helmet's on, so it's hard to tell.
He's just like sitting there and just.
I bet they don't.
It kind
fit
of
in
ruined my
carriages
morning,
well.
you know? Like I built that up for like 2 hours.
It's not polite.
I feel like taking someone's drunkenness away is not polite, but whatever. Eventually, you guys
Where's
get to
languages?
the
Seventh
Telendran
level
gates.
polite.
Just dawned on me, I bet I don't fit in carriages well because I'm so tall and then I have horns.
Oh my
Yeah, you have to.
God.
You have to.
to
You're
shrink.
kind of slouching a bit.
Because my height doesn't include the horns.
That's ridiculous.
You pull up to Castle Telendran and get out. And Castle Telendran itself is a lot of spires. Like Castle Oglyre has some towers. You've been in some towers, but this is like there's like maybe 1 or 2 stories of a main like pentagon-esque building, and then there's about 10 different size spires that make up the castle. And you know that Telendran is on the highest hill out of the 5. This whole castle is built to see the entire city. You are in the middle ward. Elias gets out, and Maurice gets out. You all file out, and Maurice starts walking, and Elias just stands there and waits until he walks inside, and the door closes behind him.
As he's walking away, but once he's out of earshot, I will murmur or like walk up beside Harridan, murmur to him. How long have you been associated with that man?
and like he looks like he's going to answer, and he like takes out his pocket watch, and he's like counting seconds. And he's like, hold on, we're going the same way he is. I want him to.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to walk near. You understand?
Yep.
Closes the pocket watch.
Also, the whole course of that ride, has there ever been any indication that that Maurice recognizes us?
None that you notice. He didn't like.
Because he didn't notice me, but he was drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just
He's been drunk the whole time.
Yeah, he's.
But also, I was
we
also
sobered him
wearing-
up when he was
Yeah,
sober.
I mean, he's just kind of like awkwardly sitting there. Like he talked to himself every once in a while, but like Lias didn't say anything, and you guys didn't say you said anything. So it was just an awkward 20 minutes of like
That's
you guys looking up at him, and he's just like not making eye contact. Eventually, Lias does go. Some months or so.
Huh.
Yes, he is technically, how to put it, a higher up that I must deal with. Enough time has passed, and he starts walking.
Within which organization?
Come along. And,
Right.
Because I wouldn't recognize.
as you get in to Castle Telendrin, and you see it's just kind of splayed out, and you can see like the entrances to all the different spires have staircases coming down, and the rest of the room is just like big and open, almost like Moria when they get to the Dwarven City part, and it's just open. That, but on a much smaller scale. It's like the whole bottom level is just for hanging out. That's the space. And then the towers are where the actual rooms are.
So the entire bottom floor is a lounge.
Yeah, basically.
Sick.
And kind of.
Hey, this is dope. I mean,
and he brings you up to one of the towers, and as soon as he starts walking up the staircase to the tower, then he quietly says back to you, and he goes, Noble Commission, not technically council, though he tries to be and tries to butt in. He's a genius, but as you probably know, genius breeds instability of the mental faculties.
Asuka thinks about herself and is like, that tracks. Alright, wow. Very interesting.
Keep walking up the stairs, all this long spire, and it's a while before you get to any like doors or anything. You have to like go up for a while, and then there's finally doors. The tower seems to expand out a little, to where there is other walkways and small little corridors that have offshoot rooms and stuff. But for the most part, it is a long hike up, and you are continually walking up until you get to what you imagine has to be near the top. You find a little window on the way up and look out, and you can see the entire city splayed out. You are very high up, higher than Kaishari's tower, and you're not even at the top quite yet. You get to another one of these landings where it's got various different offshoot rooms, or it's just like doors, not even really rooms. It's there's doors around the circular area, and he gets into the space and he stops for a second, listens. This way, and he starts to walk towards one of the doors, and another one of the doors opens, and Maurice comes back out and sees him and goes, "Oh, Lias," and he goes, "Oh, I forgot to tell you. Last night, I finally cracked it. Thought you might know, or want to know. No? Want to know?" And Lias is like, "I understand. Thank you." He goes, "Okay, have fun with your meeting." And he just goes and closes the door, and you hear a bolt latch. Lias waits a second again, like waiting for him to pop up again. And doesn't. He goes, good. Just this way. And he goes over to one of the side doors, and you see there are buttons next to the door. There's 3 buttons. And he goes and he clicks the top button, and you see the door, just kind of like a wooden door, shimmer, and just like before your eyes, turn into a metal door. He reaches down, pulls out a key, unlocks the metal door, and as it unlocks, you hear so many other mechanisms unlatch and unlock. And he goes, "Now I must preface. What you're about to see turned my son into a lunatic. Now, it was going to be just Miss Red Hand here, but she does not believe in her own fortitude, so brought the rest of you along. But I need all of you to promise that you will not be swayed. You will not let what is in this room corrupt you more than you may already be corrupted."
Scout's honor.
As he says that, Asuka's gonna like drink a little bit and put a hand on her chest and mutter a little prayer and use my my channel divinity, and give myself advantage on wisdom, charisma, and intelligence saving throws. And I will also do that for the person. Naomi. Yeah.
Thanks.
As the other person with, devil dealings.
All right, you do that. The door swings open, and all of you walk into the space. There's a couple things that you notice. 2 is it is a very dim room, other than the flickering firelight cast upon the walls. Mm-hmm. On the far end of this very long chamber.
Bigger on the inside?
Bigger on the inside.
That's magic.
This whole room shouldn't exist in this tower. You see 2 very large, they look like goblets. They look like big stone goblets, about 3 feet tall, on the far side of the room. And they have fire in them. That is what is lighting the room. They're very
braziers?
So
big braziers, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they look like goblets. And specifically, they look like goblets. Well, they are goblets of fire. I didn't even think of that. That's good. But no, they look like goblets of blood that Asuka cut her hand into.
Yep. Yep.
In the mines.
Yep.
A few other things that you notice is the architecture of this room is reminiscent of
the cave.
of that first cave that you went into. You see very, very reminiscent architecture that just makes up this room.
See, we're
that is the far wall. Leading up to that, flanking on either side of you, are pedestals. Every so often, with just blue, like, misty light just going up to the ceiling. And you see suspended in the misty light different things. You see one of them looks like a rock. One of them's a sword. One of them's an axe. One of them's a mask. One of them's a breastplate. All down the line, there's probably 20 different objects being suspended in these. The last thing you notice about this room is being illuminated most heavily by the braziers are 2 different murals kind of split halfway on the far wall. And these murals don't look like painted onto the walls. They look like there's the stone architecture that makes up the room, and then the murals look like they were taken out of stone, or like these were on something else and then cut and put in this room.
Like Berlin Wall type shit.
Like Berlin Wall type shit. Like how like London having the
was
Babylonian
gonna say.
Wall.
Yeah.
This is
Like a British
cut.
museum.
This is Elias stole these and
Nice.
put them here. You see on the left one, and forgive me because I was going to paint these up and then I didn't. But
So extra.
you see a large shadowy figure taking up the majority of the 15-foot tall mural. A large just outline of a shadow there with chains binding him to the floor.
Is it reminiscent to the thing we saw in the cave that the goblins were praying to?
It is reminiscent of Arvok. It is reminiscent of the Fellshaw. It is reminiscent of Astaroth in general, that you have seen him bound. And it doesn't just stop there. You see swirling around him all different various like other shadowy shapes. But you also notice that the chains that are binding him to the floor are broken. Broken just in the middle. And in the direct center of this mural, you see the outline of an individual, which isn't important. What's important about them is the golden armor that they are wearing. Yeah. And they have broken chains in either one of their hands. The mural to the right has, at the top, a swirl of what an artist representation of dark storm clouds. And connecting those to the bottom straight down is a brilliant blue column of light. At the bottom of the brilliant blue column, you see 4 individuals all standing around it. And it almost like them dissolving into the beam. On the outer edges of that blue beam, much larger than the tiny, tiny figures at the bottom, you see 4 horrendous looking individuals. Individuals is even a hard phrase. You see one who is face almost obscured, but beady, blinding little eyes and a big grin decorate this just bulbous, almost melting looking body with tendrils coming off of it. Below them, you see at first glance, could be mistaken for a full plated covered knight with a sword. But the closer you look, you see that the plates look like bone. In a amalgamation of bones making this plate armor. On the other side, you see a swirling mass of what looks like maybe black water. No discernible details other than appendages that come off of it. And the last figure in the top right, kind of reminiscent of the figure below it, but clearly made of flesh. A flesh snowball with 100 mouths and eyes and tiny arms coming off of it, and arms that lead to arms that lead to arms that lead to arms, all holding on to each other. And one very large mouth in the center, looking like it's
What was the third one?
The black water, like
a
mass of black water. As Lias walks into the room and you see all of this, he goes, "Now that we're behind closed doors, I just have one thing I must need to know. You see, I have not reached out. But the last time my son reached out to me, he said that you were all coming to kill him. And that's the last message I received. So, if you allow me," and he puts up his hand, and he just like turns and looks at all of you as he says, "My son, it has been many days. How are you?"
What?
And he waits.
He's sending. Okay,
I was like, why are you screaming?
Because I thought he was gonna be like coming out of the shadows or some shit.
I think it's pretty clear he hates his son. I'm not so worried about that. We
Either way,
we
yeah.
trapped his soul.
Yeah.
Puts the finger back up, and he goes,
Actually.
"I repeat, if you can hear me, respond. Now."
I wouldn't answer that. That was my dad.
You
I don't
see,
have a dad.
a sending spell is quite a peculiar thing. When the individual cannot be reached, it's a different feeling than if they do not respond. So I have one question to ask. What happened to my son?
I'm gonna take a look around the circle to see how we feel about truth-telling before I start talking.
Maybe we
And
should
in the
tell him.
moment of silence, that's all the truth he needs. And he just goes, "Well, the boy was misguided. So, this is the room that I wanted to show you. Specifically, because this is the room that put ideas in his head. These put ideas in his head.
No.
And he just sits in.
These are the keys, yes?
These are the description of some keys. What do you mean?
Did you?
How
did you get to
does
much.
everyone feel about any information? Is what Blair is
Truth.
trying to
But
get.
Naomi
Truth.
doesn't think
Truth.
Naomi doesn't think that we should tell him that she sent her son's soul to hell as payment for a debt.
That was
That's a good point,
clearly
yeah.
not
Yeah,
on the
that's
table.
what
Yeah,
you think.
I
Yeah.
don't think we should also put that she had his head above the tower.
Yeah,
I
maybe
I
don't
feel like there are
dispute.
some obvious details. I'm saying, are
I
we
feel
talking
like-
or not?
You should tell me what's happening. and not
Would Azura recognize these like four monstrosities as like the group as the known as the Vavrant?
You know that is depictions of Vavrant. Yeah.
Okay.
Asuka
I'm
looks very
tight-lipped.
tense and has taken a single step forward and is only. It looks like she's only half listening. Her helmet is turned towards. Actually, her helmet's gone now, but she's looking kind of around at the room and is not.
But the other two,
So-
not individuals, but the other two of the Vavrant are missing from the depiction, or any of the depictions.
It doesn't seem like they're on there.
Okay.
Give me an investigation check real fast.
Want me to keep doing dialogue?
Yeah.
These legendary artifacts, from my understanding, that are very, very old and mostly shrouded in myth.
Oh, I believe I know. The keys to life.
Yes.
No. These are not them.
Well, they are depictions and descriptions.
These are depictions and descriptions of the key, and he points to the golden armor. He goes, the key to unbinding Astaroth's form so he can wander the cosmos of his own will. With that investigation check, you notice that the mural seems broken. Like, obviously broken,
Yeah.
but it seems like there's parts missing.
Gotcha.
Go on. I'm sure you have questions.
Where was this taken from?
These were taken from an Onukali site that I found just south of Aldwick.
Why does that name sound?
Yeah.
Aldwick
We've
is
been
the
there.
city.
No, Anakali.
No. Yeah.
Anakali.
Anakali is the old society, basically.
Yeah.
That was ancient
Oh.
and found
Oh,
in
okay,
Australia.
cool.
So
Thanks.
That's where we met that guy.
with the dragon, the bone dragon.
You mean
Right?
Usmani?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes, the Anukali worshipped an individual known as the Fel Shah, an individual we know as Astaroth, or Arvak, or
The King of Monsters.
the King of Monsters, Gelterbrand, and he funnels off like 4 or 5 other words, and he goes, and the point is, they came very close. Allow me to fill in some holes for you. The Anukali, with this golden armor they had fashioned, they figured out that an individual wearing all the pieces of the armor, and that individual were to happen to go to a what's the word I want to use? A place where the realities can bleed together, a nexus point. If they were to go there and be able to see the Shadowfell, then they could access the Shadowfell, and the armor alone could break Astaroth's chains. Luckily, as I know my history, he looks dead at you. He goes, the Lunariums fought them off from gaining access to Bangkao Keep at the final moments. As they were fighting them off at Bangkao, they were also fighting them off little ways north, where, and he points to the other mural, where they were performing this ritual. Now, luckily, they failed. The armor was scattered, hidden by the Anukali, as their culture fell apart. And thankfully, the Lunariums bound these hideous creatures using a technology they called the Stone of Arendor. And to my knowledge, that stone still binds them. So, not sure what we have to do about this, but my son was very adamant at finding the armor.
I know, but that's what we picked up.
And yet my people were still cast away to the frozen forest. After our devotion.
I was not a part of it.
I understand.
But yes, what happened to your family was despicable. But they seem to have found a good life for themselves.
We are resilient.
Yes.
Naomi has a question. What's the purpose of having a room devoted to this?
To keep them all in one place, to study. I became fascinated myself, but from a historical standpoint, I needed to know, and once I started pulling on the threads that were covered up by the 5 families, finding out the Lunariums were banished, why they were banished, the further I looked, the more I found. And then I, as a young man, started traveling around, and in the ruins I found more and more. I found that this threat, not mythical and stretching far, still loomed, could still be accessed. I had no interest in doing anything of it. I am only showing it to you because you have brought some more nefarious sounding things to my attention, and also brought to the attention that you may have killed my son. And my son was looking for these, so I hoped you could elaborate. and
Chris,
tell
I'll
me
let
what
you go.
know.
Here we go.
I'll let you go.
Okay. As he's talking, I have gradually moved forward. I think I'm tracing the rims of those large stone goblets, and looking at the mural more the one on the left with the depiction of Astaroth that is like, and like probably flashing back to the moments when they were trying to pull the helmet off of me, and I was kind of, my consciousness was shifting back and forth between Bangkok Keep and the like prison court of Astaroth where he was in chains, and I say, I imagine it's pretty quiet in the room, so I say quietly, but it still is audible, and I say, drink of their spirits and take the title of champion. Be guided by their wisdom and strength to unite the former of Felshar, his armor bringing with it his life.
What's his reaction?
He like stops for a second and then goes off to one of the side, he has like a side bookshelf built into the wall, and he takes out a journal and flips to it and shows you the exact same thing written down that he has transcribed from a language you can now not read. It looks very familiar, and he just goes, so you found...
Well, that's what brought us all together. Your son, as the sheriff of Midbury, tasked us to enter a mine and recover this. And she will like tap the helmet on the depiction.
We found the ribs first.
What?
We found the ribs first.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because they're metallic.
Yeah, that. So that.
They're magnetic.
And it was just it was one piece. And when we did kill your son, he was wearing all of them.
3 pieces.
But he never drank of the spirits.
He was only wearing 3 pieces.
He was wearing 3. He didn't have the arms.
Oh, okay.
Because the arms were taken by the fool and thrown.
Right, yeah. So he was wearing, well then, Redguard. He was wearing 3 of them. But he never drank of the spirits. He was never the champion.
He found 3 of the 4.
Well,
to be
we
fair,
found 2.
We found 2 of them.
Like, I'm sorry,
you see
credit
Blair
where
go
credit's
technically 3 and then stop herself, so it's like, teh, and then she stops.
Maybe don't
Well,
give them all.
in any,
Yeah, she stopped.
In any case, I thought those were myth. I don't know what I thought. Lack of information, maybe.
Especially they remain a myth now. We've scattered the rest of them.
Good.
Don't tell us.
Scattered in well-guarded places, I'd hope.
We hope
And
as well.
places non-disclosed to anybody but a few. We don't even know where all of them are.
Mr. Hardon, knowing things about this, we want to trust you, and we want to delve information to help you, but we need to garner trust.
That I can agree with. I am only showing you this and in hopes of gaining trust. As we are having this conversation, I have been probing each of your minds. Not deeply.
Not me.
He doesn't mean he's getting anything. I just wanted some clarification, and I believe you are being as forthright as it is necessary.
Then I have one question for you. Why show him this?
I didn't. Boy was very intelligent. He found his way in. I thought perhaps it'd be a good stepping stone in his training once I discovered him. But he grew possessed. He he was never the same after that. He always trying to one-up me, I think. Trying to make something of himself until he turned the whole bloody city against him and I had to send him away. I'm lucky that it was just sending him away. But I can answer any questions you may have, but I brought you here mostly so you could answer mine, and I think you have.
I'd be willing to also state the fact that your son was using, and I pull out my noble commission ring I took from his son's room, and say, your son was using this to take resources from other towns and not give back. And there is a record of that too.
In his
I
pursuit,
believe it.
it seemed he was draining everything around him dry to find all four.
So he did turn into a parasite.
We are sorry to have done that way.
Sorry.
We are sorry. But it had to be done.
I think he knows that.
I think you don't have to lie to me about being sorry. Losing a child is not hard, or not easy, my bad. Not hard! It's so easy.
I have the equipment to make more.
Where the fuck do you go?
Losing a child isn't not easy, but I lost him long ago. This merely allows my mind to go at ease. I have nothing more to show you in this place other than perhaps some inscriptions, if they'd help you.
I would be very curious to see those, but if this is a room where we can be sure that our conversation is understood, I do have some questions and perhaps maybe a little intelligence to share with you.
Yeah.
Excellent, I am all ears.
The man
Well,
down the hall is working with them.
I'm going to look around and be like,
Oh, yeah.
should we start with Maurice?
I think that would be
that'd be appropriate.
Probably a good
What is your affiliation with him?
He's an acquaintance.
Like I said before,
Details.
colleague of sorts, I guess. He runs the Noble Commission's research and development. He has
What did he crack?
I'm sorry?
He said on the landing, he said I cracked it. What you want to know? What is he working on?
I'm honestly not sure. He's always spouting nonsense about some discovery he's made. I couldn't be certain on which one that this is.
Has he seen this room?
No. There have been 8 individuals who have seen this room. Well, 9, I suppose, if you count Iola's.
This is including us or excluding us?
Including.
I'm assuming the 7 of us are a big part of that number.
Well,
The 5 families and another.
we've run into him a few times. I'm not sure if he recognized us, although I would be surprised if he didn't. Unless he has a doppelganger or a twin out there.
Well, the
But,
first time we've had anything like that.
I don't want to take the lead on this conversation necessarily, but
So what, you think Maurice is a mastermind?
So,
Plotting?
no.
So, we, in our travelings and dealings with the issues, gestures at room surrounding your son, we stumbled upon a lot of things, specifically including Bancow Keep and a few other situations where we ran into Maurice, and specifically, he is a vampire.
And was working with your son.
Wait, hang on. In our history, did we ever determine that he was a vampire, or just that he was working with the vampires?
I was prompted he is one. Above table, Nicole's
think
memory
he's
is
a
dog shit.
vampire.
I thought I was prompted that he is one.
I thought it was the
He's working
vampires
with
and red
Yeah, I thought we
It's
were.
Suckman and
Suckman
Cake
and
Guy.
He just
That's how
goes.
we knew.
He just goes.
We're,
What?
we're at least. You're probing our minds. Feel free to verify. To the best certainty that we have, he is one, or he is at least working extremely closely with one that we have confirmed
We have run up against
repeatedly.
a handful, at least, in the last few weeks.
Even in the city.
And they are in the service of Asaroth, and
He also tried to kill us on multiple occasions.
oh, and they have infiltrated the Noble
Can you
Commission.
move?
Yeah.
What was the last bit?
They
Chris?
infiltrated the Noble Commission.
I said they infiltrated the Noble Commission and they work with Astaroth, and they're not. It's bad. It's bad.
Infamous bad shit.
9. You feel for a moment there just like a spasm in your brain for like 2 seconds, and he
Oh.
Oh shit.
Do I know he only accessed vampire information?
You don't know what he accessed.
Concern.
You told him to go deeper.
Concern.
He just goes,
I assume that's what he was looking for. Though.
oh, you've
It was definitely like at the front.
I do not think Maurice is a vampire, but who is that individual traipsing around with him? Obviously they are.
We don't know his name.
Suckman doesn't have an official name, does
We
he?
never knew it.
No.
Did we kill
I
him?
mean,
No.
No,
No.
it's not Vern.
He's still
he
running around.
always slipped through our fingers.
We unfortunately haven't been able to identify him. We've identified a few individuals that we've come up against in the vampire situation, including relatives
Also,
of our own, unfortunately.
I think we have. I think at one point we did discover that they were headquartered. They're from up north, somewhere.
We know he's from. It starts with a Z.
He said
Maurice or
Maurice is.
oh
yeah. Maurice said originally he was from Zudora, but he also said
Zudora.
he's been
Around,
everywhere.
right.
So.
Yeah.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere.
I thought we learned that the lead vampire guy was from somewhere.
I don't
north.
think we know much
Or
about
maybe
him
that
because
was-
Garrick teletubbied off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Lias just goes, well, and forgive me, Chris, you told him that they were vampires, like, in the ballroom, right?
I definitely
was
mentioned
the
that we were
goal.
surrounded by undead. I might have mentioned vampires.
Oh, okay. Well, if you said undead, he would put, he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
He just goes, yeah, an unstable political climate is getting more and more interesting by the day, it seems.
Imagine how we felt the last
2 days.
weekend.
I mean, I think there's been a vampire attack we've encountered every 2 days since we've come into the city almost.
Yeah, that's about right.
And we know they're searching for something.
We're just not exactly sure on what.
They slaughtered the temple of Astra
Astra?
Yeah.
a couple days ago.
They wiped them out.
Why? What would they want with Astra's followers? They're barely a religion.
It's precisely one of the problems.
The attacks don't seem to make a lot of sense.
Although they were following us.
That seems to be the constant.
Wasn't, above word, because the Zero's not there, but didn't you hide the item there and then they attack?
Keeping it secret.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they were
He
at
can probably
Bane
tell
Cow
though. He
Keep.
can. Well. Yeah, he can probably tell that's probably where that is if he probes. So like.
Doesn't seem like he's probing.
I'll let the information slip that they were at Bane Cow Keep with your son.
Well, he did tell me that was the last place he was at,
very
and if
much
he
so.
had 3 of them and they were there too, I can only imagine that they are also wrapped up in this Onakali
Yes.
Bullshit.
Additionally, they have been seeking the keys of life, which is why we were so astonished to enter this room, and
See.
that's why we asked about them.
And why we're familiar.
There's concern with him being down the hall.
Well, definitely more untrust, but concern Maurice is hardly a threat. His connections seem interesting, but the man is a fool. A very clumsy fool.
A very slippery fool. That
Evaded us.
has he been wearing the red cape?
Most snakes are, and yes, he was wearing the red cape.
Yeah. I'm sure you've noticed that the mantle he wears is enchanted.
Yes. I have noticed. But he has a lot of interesting things at his disposal. I didn't think anything of a cape.
Seems to be his constant.
Well, I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't think it's wise, but I would love to get him in a locked room, maybe like this, maybe by surprise.
I don't recommend this room.
Yeah, not this one.
He's not coming in this room.
It's not. I mean, it would only be a problem if he left again. That's what I'm saying. I have a bit of a grudge. Oh, it's fine.
I am not going to kidnap a high-profile member of a brand new government, and nor can I advise you to do that. But protectors of the realm, I hear you have a lot more free reign.
Yet we still seem imprisoned by our problems.
Yes, we do.
Well, since it seems to be relevant, let's see. Yeah, you got all that. He goes over to the right mural and gets a piece of paper from the journal he has and puts it on part of the mural, and then just like waves his hand, and it does a charcoal rubbing of it, and gives you information about Vivrant, and it says that these are the harbingers of Astaroth. They are his workforce to corrupt the material plane and make it more suitable for him. They are to come in and make it more like the Shadowfell. The top left individual is known as Selkath the Mind Whip. The bottom left, Zeltron, Sword of Sins. The bottom right, the massive black water looking thing, is Cretania, the Frigid Abyss. And the top monstrosity of flesh and mouths and arms is Marduk, the Flesh Mountain. And Zura knows that there are two missing. They seem like they would have probably flanked on either side, but it is broken. He hands this information directly to Aska. As well, on there, my bad, I forgot there was more because it's on the other page. It also says to summon Vivrant, one would need 4 high-level casters who are willing to die and have their forms melt into the energy column as part of the ritual. And
I didn't mean you're on the same page.
And you need 50 pounds of bone dust as part of the ritual, and 1,000 gold pieces worth of magical components. and there is a side note that says, "But don't worry, the Stone of Arendor keeps them locked at bay."
And we took it out.
Hey man, it's a cork. It just
Hey, if it isn't the consequences of our own actions.
But also, just to clarify.
I don't think I had any part of this.
Yeah,
No, that
me
was
neither.
before. That was before.
You
yeah,
did,
not the Stone of
just not this
Arendor.
Not me.
I'm
Not this
incredibly
you.
confused.
You
This
witnessed,
Not this one
you
either.
witnessed the blue
No,
column
true.
of light. You got.
Yeah, I fought it. I
Because
fought
I was
it to
going to
keep.
say,
I didn't know
we
what was going on.
stopped
with
that,
fixing it.
right?
Presumably, that sounds like.
You guys stopped it, and the more you're running it through in your head, all 4 individuals got sucked into it.
But we stopped it.
But it looks like you stopped it before it finished. You killed them before they finished the ritual.
they did not get their bodies made into
But
bags.
right.
So, yeah, real close.
By the skin
But-
of our
Close
fucking
call.
teeth.
Yeah, but it's
But
fucking
you
teeth.
did stop that.
Does Azura know the 2 monstrosities that are missing from the tapestry or painting thing?
Make a history check.
It's interesting there's 6, but you only need 4.
Yeah.
What's the mushroom guy again? What's his name?
23.
Theos.
The mushroom.
Ophios.
Ophios, yeah.
Look at me
That was
remembering
My phone
something.
is about to die. Hold on, find it.
Charger man.
Should we tell him that we thwarted one of those?
I think it's
If
important
he's
information.
reading minds,
Yep.
he might know, but yeah.
Important information.
I guess while Aska has the paper, it's on her to say it. Are you reading it aloud or?
I'm probably looking at it and then passing it on.
So
I'm more interested in the real things in the room.
if no one says anything by the time it gets to Blair, she'll say it.
I wouldn't. I
Right,
only,
you
I
wouldn't
only
know.
what you tell
I don't
me.
think Tulad would say you weren't.
I probably wouldn't.
Don't look at me.
You're the face.
I
You're
will
the.
wait.
I was like, you would probably be the one to say it
I
because
will
you
wait.
stopped it.
Yeah.
So when the paper gets to Blair.
Hold on. say
Yeah,
again? What
I
is it?
know. I was just setting myself up.
Oh, you can go ahead and say it. I'm trying to write these down before my phone dies.
Understandable. So when the paper gets around to Blair, she's reading through it, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, this sounds like a ritual." And then she continues, and she's like, "Oh, this sounds familiar. Oh, crap, this is the thing." And so by the end of it, she goes, yes, so relevant indeed. I believe this is a ritual that we, in fact, stopped.
Well,
Barely.
so he had 3 pieces of the armor and the ritual in motion.
Yes.
And we
Was
stopped
Cake Guy
it.
there?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then he bamfed out.
And Maurice was present at the ritual.
And he left before everything stopped.
So the fool found the armor, and the ritual was under place. So what happened? The stone of Arendor has been deactivated.
That, so
About that.
Apparently.
this would be the step that is completely on our hands. We, through a separate chain of events trying to stop a network of evil mushrooms, she's realizing how ridiculous it sounds as it
Killing
comes
my
out of her
town.
mouth.
He's just like probing
That was
continuously because this is
ruining
such bullshit.
and killing the residents of her town. We were trying to find the source, ended up in this ravine with a dragon, and we found the
It was a
stone in the
bow dragon,
water.
wasn't it?
No, it's
So
Green Dragon.
we
It was an undead.
it was like an
dragon.
undead
dragon,
green dragon.
okay.
So we were collecting things out of the water, as you do when you've defeated a dragon and are going through its horde, perhaps. And we pulled it out. Yes.
Because that would stop the humidity.
And
What
he looks at
did happen with
Azura
it?
and goes, "This was your people's responsibility."
Yes.
That was our dodge. You has it.
Does Azura even know why? Like, it
Yes.
wasn't guarded?
Wait, hold on. Well, they put it there, and then more than 1,000 years passed, and they just kind of forgot about it. Honestly, like they locked it away in the tomb,
And it's with
left it
2
there.
golden dragonborns.
Like they buried it. No, she's still
No,
back.
yeah.
Oh, you
I
took
think
it back?
I think Tempest might have it.
Tempest.
Or Tempest has it, okay.
Tempest have it at Bangkok Keep.
Took it back, yeah.
So, would you like to relay that it is safe again with your family again?
I mean,
But
the
it's
use of
deactivated.
stone,
It's
we've
not
done
core.
that.
If it is moved from the spot where the spell is cast, then it is just a nice paperweight.
Well, we
It
do
does
know
not
where it
hold
was
any
cast if it's something that can be reversed. We could always go back.
Now
Right,
you
but
see why we were so frustrated
You
when we
can
first met.
It
And
was
why
a
it was
hole in a
justified.
forest outside of a farm town.
Maybe in the future.
Maybe leave a
Label it.
sign.
I also didn't
Don't touch.
accept
Releases
that,
evil.
and also the fact that that stone was causing the mushrooms to invade my town and kill my people.
Was the stone causing that?
As a byproduct, the magics of the stone may have created
Corrupted
Ophios.
the mush.
So as
You
a
can't make it
byproduct,
It was a necessary evil.
you can't see that side effect. There wasn't. Swine one wasn't even there.
I was gonna say when it was placed thousands of years
Technically,
ago,
it was there first.
people were nowhere near.
We
that.
didn't know. You should have left a sign.
And Azura is gonna give
You will remember that on the stone it said, "Be this that binds Vavrant, the harbingers of Astaroth."
Could we read that?
Did we read that?
You read that as soon as the
Yes,
stone
we did.
was
We had to
moved,
pick
yeah.
it up to see it,
It was
though.
moved. It was on the bottom side.
It's like on the bottom.
To
So we didn't know.
To summarize, moving the stone killed Ophios.
Right, it saved my town.
So,
But no, Azura's gonna preface that when it was placed thousands of years ago, nobody lived that far south.
I like how everyone's straight up blaming Azura even though she was
No,
alive.
we're
I'm
defending
just
ourselves that we did not mean to be the harbingers
we're
of
trying
evil.
to not have
because-
this be their fault.
Yeah.
We were trying to fix a problem and we fixed it, and it wasn't until we lifted it and read the bottom that it said, "Please do not lift, releases evil into the world."
Okay, no, Ardosh didn't read it. He just grabbed it. It was on the top. But,
To be fair,
Can we
it's
point
the
out that
other
Ardosh
person
is
that's
the
not
center
here.
of all of our problems?
There you go.
Well, not all of them.
Ardosh and Aska are the center of all of our problems.
Because you attacked.
With that high roll, you remember that the other two are Barbiel, the All-Seeing, and Zafkiel, the Lesser Covenant.
The left nut.
The
Lesser Covenant.
The Lesser Covenant.
And then when she gets the paper handed to her, she's gonna be like, I see it's missing the two, and then list off those two.
Yes, there were more inscriptions, but the site was terribly ruined. I'm grateful that I was able to get what I did.
I see.
So, there's two more.
Well, to add to your archives, the two are.
He writes that down.
Just for the record. So,
This has been very educational.
Hang on. So what has he told us about the various items in the room? Like in their
yeah.
magical displays?
He hasn't said anything about them, but if you bring them up, he goes, "Yes, I wouldn't touch them. All the items that are imprisoned here are cursed and do great harm to the wielder and any of those less fortunate to be around them."
Yeah, you guys see Aska like looking at them like.
You are pet touch.
No.
I think
How
Like
bad
not
they
moving,
cursed.
but definitely weighing how just like.
I highly
How
advise.
am I
Call of the Void is
I
strong.
think you should let her.
No.
We did that once.
We did it.
It turned
It's
out
Stick
bad.
Stick a fork in an outlet.
we
She
did.
learned her lesson.
We're
No,
not
she
doing
will
it
keep
again.
sticking the fork into the
learn
iron
it.
until it burns her arm off.
Only outlets exist in this world.
What the fuck is a car?
And he pulls out his pocket watch and goes, "Any further developments, please let me know. I have to start drafting paperwork."
If you can let us know in passing maybe what our friend in the Red Cape is working on or is cracked, we'd be delighted to know.
Next time I see him, I will see if he will spill his secrets. I will tell you anything that I find out.
We'd appreciate it greatly.
Yes. He begins to usher you out of the room.
I
What?
Wait, what?
What? Are you gonna ask him how he voted?
No. I already did that.
Yeah, let's just insult this man.
Again,
If you try to sell him Electro.
come into his house.
Considering he got a promotion, I'm pretty sure he voted yes. Just saying.
That's what we determined.
No. I still think no. Obviously there are no harsh feelings. However, it would appear that we are strange bedfellows in this particular. It would be more beneficial to everyone in this room and everyone involved outside if the world did not come to an end due to cataclysmic unleashing of an evil being. Correct? Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're aligned that we like the world as we know it, right?
Yes. Then we should consider each other allies to a degree, considering we're going to be working with each other much more now.
I was going to say, I don't see why not. We're all aligned under the same king.
This is true. And with the forces at my disposal and you all, perhaps we do have strength on our side. I detest the term ally, but I've worked with many strange people in my past. Common goals are common goals. If we are to work together, then I agree with this one. We must have trust. For now, I believe I can trust you, but if that changes, no, I am a unforgiving enemy.
Understandable.
You can see Delilah holding back her tongue.
Because Kay Shari and him hang out, right? Or they have...
You must have trust. You caught her having dinner with him one night.
Yeah.
Please speak your mind.
Blair steps back from what she was saying.
Understandably. Understand if that trust is broken. Things... may not go well.
Big promises from a smaller person.
I don't think that we need to be drawing lines.
And you can see the fire just behind it, and she's just going to stop.
We need to be drawing lines.
No, and the whole thing
anywhere.
is she's going to stay quiet, but there is fire behind her eyes.
Yes, you're both being very insulting and making big flashy movements. We get it.
He has moved all of you towards the door.
An acquaintance of Keshari's is always an acquaintance of mine. I look forward to our working together for as long as it's mutually beneficial.
Yes.
I'm trying to usher everyone out before somebody says something stupid.
As you guys get out of the door and he walks out as well, he relocks the door behind him and then unclicks. Huh?
I take one, as the door is closing, I take one last look.
Take one item.
And swipe.
By the collar.
Door closes, he
Blair
presses
kills
the
herself
button,
with
and the metal door shimmers back to a wooden door. And then he goes, well, I trust you can find your way out. Like I said, much paperwork to do. And he clicks the second button, and the wooden door shimmers to a slightly different wooden door. And you see the door open, and him walk in, and as it's closing, all of you just see a very familiar room that you saw in Midbury, and you saw in Bankow Keep. You see the study that Iolaus was using. You see the same study with a spot above the window where a sword should be.
That is with me!
And the door closes and latches. You guys are alone in this tower.
Blair stares a little longer at the door. The realization.
That's why the door was magic when we checked
I
it
forgot
out.
I have his son's diary.
And I stare at
thought
that
about
and
that.
smile a little as vindication.
I got your soul, bitch! What are you guys doing anything else in the tower, or are you heading back to Oglyre?
I want us out of the tower. I'm trying to usher people
I'm
out.
debating whether me or you are going to do the thing I think we're going to do.
If it's
What are you talking
convenient,
about?
I would like to check in on
I
Bixby
have my
on the way
hand
back.
on you and I'm guiding you out.
Yeah.
To do.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
know.
After that, no. Let's get out of here.
What are you trying to do?
What do
I think
you
she's
wanna
gonna try
do?
to break in.
No, I have a I want to sleight of hand it because I don't want anyone else to know I did it. I want to cast Find Familiar. I want my familiar to come back,
Okay.
and I want it to go underneath.
It takes.
It takes
Well-
10 minutes. It's
Well,
a
you already
ritual.
cast it, so you
Right.
can just bamf him
Right.
back into
Oh, yeah.
existence.
I want him, and I'm gonna go see what Maurice is doing.
Okay. You see the little pseudo dragon, like, he goes up to the door, and there's no way in, and so he like spots a window and heads out the window.
With a passive of 27. Do I see this?
Oh my god.
Roll sleight of hand.
Fuck.
I'm sorry?
Like 27?
Yes.
So that's gonna be
Expertise and observant.
You know
Hold
what's
on.
funnier than 27?
28.
We are
That's funnier than
children.
28.
28.
69.
69.
What?
Yeah, 69. Nice.
26.
Damn.
Oh, wow. You catch, as you guys are leaving, just out of the corner of your
What's
eye,
your
you
familiar
catch
look
a
It's a
Pseudo-dragon.
it's a little
golden
like
pseudo dragon.
Okay.
Why is it always gold?
It's a theme. You catch a glimpse of it as it heads out the window.
I tighten my grip on you and more forcefully take you out, and I kind of mutter to you, we're talking about that later.
And I just smile.
You guys head out, and if you check in through,
And at some point, as we're still walking, if she's on me, I know I have a guide. I bamf into it.
you bamf in, and you see the pseudo dragon going around, and he keeps finding windows, and the windows kind of lead back to the same landings. And you
Magic
think,
house.
oh shit, all the doors may function the same way. They may all be magic rooms
Yeah.
and just a door facade. Doors that lead to other spaces.
Forever staircase.
They're not
Yeah.
fucking real.
He can't.
So if you can't find it, I
right
bamf
in.
out of it. I dismiss it, and I just.
Alright.
Blair
As you
smokes
guys
at
As
your
you guys head
frustration.
back to Oglyre Castle and you check on Bixby, and he's doing okay. He's lonely. Like, he hasn't seen you guys in a while, and as soon as you
It's
come
only
up
been
to
like
him-
2 days.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot for
He's
an
been
owl.
alone in a stable with strangers.
Scary.
might
He
be
sees
healed up by
you
now.
and he immediately like sees you and then just like gives one flap and hops over the stall and is in the middle of the stable, and the stable hand's like yeah, I'm not gonna pick it up. And
That's your
he just gives you all the nuzzles.
Yes. I love Bixby.
And then as you guys make your way towards the castle, he is like, and I'm coming too.
Oh God.
Do you let him come with you, or are you keeping him at the stable?
I'm gonna keep him at this stable, but I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna hang back a little bit, just hang out with him for a little bit, and then catch
Okay.
up.
Okay. As the
Feel
rest of you
bad.
make your way into Oglyre and see what next steps come, that's where we're going to end the session. So you guys can think about what you want to do next. Got some good shit out of the way. Got
Yeah.
King vote. Brought a Baron back. Got some info. So
Also, it's just funny to think about Naomi, like, very, like, scary, devil-looking woman. Or deep.
Tall, scary, devil-looking woman. Yeah.
Well, yeah, tall.